Can you hear me? God, I have a headache. Can you guys hear me? There you go. It's dark in here, but and you know what? There's never like a nice. It's dark in here, but the connection is always whack. I think. You can. It's the same problem, Alkaline Universe. Is it echoey? Hola, Coca-Cola. And if it's too late, I understand. Is it better? I mean, the video's not going to be better. But y'all, let's start. I dropped the link, so hit the link if you want to come. Yeah. How are you tonight? How's everyone doing in this fall? This fall time. Why? Hear you better, sis. Okay, good. You hear me better, but you don't see me better. How's everyone doing? Anyone want to tell me about some kind of experience that you've had recently that has to do with like the paranormal? Hush, hush, girl. That's better. So now, peace to everybody that's back. I know a lot of people are not gonna. If you don't come back, I don't blame you. It's like, come on, come on, Napa. What do I want to do? Let me do this. Let me do this. My interest is in knowing. Okay, thank you. Let's see if I can go in. I want to join that StreamYard. Hey, Save J Cambe. Anybody? I dropped the link for y'all. Last time I said I would drop the link. See, I'm going to try to enter with my phone. Oh. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Is it still doing it? It's not still doing it, is it?
Can you hear me?
Right. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now, right? Right. God, I'm getting a headache from this. Okay. Hello to everyone that joined the panel. You've joined the panel. I'm going to just take that down. Y'all are just going to have, my camera is going to be shit right now. So, and it's not my camera, it's the connection, and I can't do anything about it. I pay the most that I can for the internet, and they don't do what they should. So I'm going to burn some Palo Santo. Anybody want to talk? Anybody can unmute yourself and talk.
I'm eating.
Hello, Napah. Okay.
Unmute yourself.
I'm eating right now, so that's why I don't want y'all to hear me crunch.
Well, okay. This is Palo Santo, and this is like holy wood. It's really good. You should burn it in your home, especially around these times. Not just sage, but this will really it will not just cleanse, but it brings good energy, good spirits, and it's very good. Look at the smoke. You can bless yourself with it. Bathe yourself in the smoke. It's really good. Yes, it is. Well, I wouldn't say stronger than sage, Wolfman Lou, but it's got a more of a if you have a really bad energy, like if you have bad spiritual possession in your home, meaning like it's overtaking you, you can't use Palo Santo to cleanse. Only Palo Santo, it will bring a cleansing effect, but it more draws spirits that will fight negative energy for you. But a cleanse can be done with sage and copal. So anybody want to join in, or y'all just joined in the chat into the panel to go mute?
No. I'm here, but I'll just be quiet and be listening for my contributions to come in.
Sure.
What's the topic?
It's about the veil right now, and this is a smudging stick of sage. So I can even burn that right now because this stream is tripping for the last 20 minutes. So maybe there are energies that are testing me to see if I have the fortitude to move forward. See, I don't like to always say, oh, there's evil spirits trying to stop me, because I have dominion over every spirit. It's just sometimes there might be, see that? I'm going to make sure it's in the, y'all can't see it probably. So good. This is really good. I don't remember you, but I still, you're still here. So, and get yourself a little crucible. Get yourself a crucible that's real cast iron is this one. And you can just bless yourself with all the different things burning. All praise goes to Yahweh. It goes to the almighty power. You don't have to say Yahweh, but all praise goes to the Most High first, or it's useless. Don't give any power to any lesser spirits. And let's talk about that today. I'm so sad that you guys won't, like, I'm going to look at YouTube and look how whack. Oh, it's not so bad. Is it? Oh, yeah. I remember you with Mama Lioness. Definitely. You should hop on. But tonight we're talking about the spirit realm and possessions, and what I say is the thinning of the veil. And look at this beautiful smoke. Look at the beauty. Bathe all of your crown and your soul. Bathe yourself in the smoke from Palo Santo. See, it's trying to trip. Can you see it? See it? I don't know if you guys can see it. I have to get dressed. Well, get dressed. Get dressed. Anyway, y'all are gonna have to say something or just jump off.
Hello, Napah.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm calling from Nigeria.
Awesome. Where? Lagos? Lagos?
No, Abuja.
Where?
Abuja. We call it
Abuja.
Abuja here. Yes,
Well,
Abuja.
well, I'm glad you're calling from Africa, the motherland. Tell us,
Well,
what do you think about the veil thinning right now? Like, what's your spiritualism? What's your spirituality?
well, for me, I'm just trying to navigate my way around a lot of concealed things, a lot of lies. So right now, I'm just doing my thing, just going with the flow like the Tao.
Okay, that's good. Have you seen anything that is almost to you like extraordinary?
Well, I had an experience in 2015 that
Tell
led
us
me
about it.
to. Well, is it working? Okay. Well, you want me to go through all that with you here?
Yeah, why not? What we wait. This is what we're doing right now.
Okay. Well, something happened in 2015 that, well, long story cut short, people started thinking I was crazy. But at that point, I was seeing the spirits. I was seeing the etheric kingdom, this kingdom that is veiled from our eyes. I was seeing it and I was trying to conceal it. But because I'm not an initiate, I wasn't taught how to communicate around that realm. I kind of think that as much as I was trying to hide it, people were kind of noticing that something was going on with me. So for real, the etheric kingdom exists, but it's just about how the magician tends to cross-reference the two worlds. So that was what happened to me in 2015. But there's a longer story. A lot of things went down to me getting to where I was at that time.
Okay, well, tell us what your experience was that you saw that was supernatural.
Well, so what happened was this. You see, people are already saying I'm going
And no
crazy.
one is going to think you're crazy, not in this channel.
No, I know I'm on the right channel. I met you at Saneta. Then I navigated my way. I've always been in the chat. Most time I don't talk. I just observe and listen. Yeah. So, well, it was crazy because I was in my third year engineering student in Ghana. I was studying in Ghana. So, um, at a point, I started becoming more conscious. When I mean conscious, I don't mean into spiritual study. That's conscious of myself. I was the kind of guy that wanted everyone to be happy. At the what will I say? What's the word? Sorry, my vocabulary is not so perfect. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I would always go out of the way to please others at the displease of myself. You see? So I kept doing that. I joined. I've always been a nice guy since I was that so-called nice guy. You see? But then at a point I started saying no, that can't be it. That can't be it. That can't be it. But even as at that time I was still studying the metaphysical. You see, coupled with I was selling drugs in school. So um, all this transpired. Something happened in class. I had to attack the teacher because I started getting angry at myself, but I was taking it out on other people. You see, I got so angry with myself. I didn't like the way I was treating life. Or that's the life I had for myself. So I kept going. I kept going. So something happened in somebody's house. His name is Banky. Banky was my supplier because at the point, the people in that I was living with, that's my roommate, was like, "Oh, come on, let's take this guy to Banky because Banky is the only guy that is deep enough to understand what's happening with him." So that night in Banky's room, Banky was an initiate. So he kept doing a lot of things that looked magical. He was trying to figure out what was going on with me. So that night in Banky's house was the night that I got to encounter the spirits. You see, they were. It was. I never knew about mental illness. As much of a scholar that I was, it never really crossed my radar. So the first time mental illness was crossing my radar was me having it. So these people they were making noise on the outside. I didn't want to go out because I was like, what if I see something that's bigger than me? So I was still in the room. I kept talking. I kept talking to myself. It was like I was going through a test for truth. They call them the truth demons. When I read later about them, but basically I was within myself discussing, having a long dialogue until the spirits manifested inside Banky's room. It came in form of a snake, a black snake, you see, and it was basically trying to I was trying to basically I
Wait,
was
go
talking
back to
to.
that. Go stop. In
Okay.
his room, did the black snake manifest itself out of nowhere?
Yeah, it manifested itself, or it used a solid, because there's this thing that the chiefs in Africa use. They use the thing to fan to as a fan to get air to themselves. So it was there with the horse. I don't know what they call it, like a duster, but
Now, let me ask you again about the black snake. Were you indoors?
I was indoors, just me and Banky in the room.
You were in the room. Were you trying to invoke spirits or summon spirits, or were you
Yeah,
just
that's the
doing?
thing. That's the thing. I didn't know, but it seemed like as if I was invoking the spirit. It
Hold
seemed like as if
on,
I was invoking.
stop. Take your time. I'm here. So when you were in the room, you weren't saying "oh spirits" in a ritual. You were
No, no,
just
no,
doing
no, no,
you.
no. I was,
You were
I
just
was
you were
just
just doing something without
internally.
knowing. You didn't know you were invoking a spirit, right?
No, I didn't know I was invoking a spirit. You see, but I knew that the spirits were there. You see, but for some reason they had to. They took their time to manifest. They didn't just manifest themselves at once. They started with blowing whistles outside. It got to a point they were singing Christian songs on the staircase downstairs. That's Banky's stairs because Banky was living in a duplex. So but I didn't go out of the room because I wanted anything that was, if it was real, they should come and meet me inside the room because I wasn't going to go out. And this was the time I was having the epiphany of me being God. No, like for real, me being God, not just like something about a smaller fashion. You like the way the Bible
I'm
says it.
just getting,
That
I'm trying to understand. I'm listening to you, but I'm trying to say something. What he's talking about right now, I mean, he's just getting started with the story. You notice that he mentioned that it was about spirits that have transitioned, and also a snake can manifest itself when a black snake specifically, and it's not always a big snake, it's usually a tiny snake. When I say tiny, I mean not a huge snake. It'll
Yeah, the snake
usually
wasn't
be,
huge. The snake
it'll
was in the
be
yin yang. It was in the yin yang because it wasn't just a snake that came. It came with the yin yang, and it was in the center of the yin yang. Then I wanted the
right.
snake to, yeah, I wanted the snake to come out so I could feel it. I don't know, but I wanted the snake to bite Banky so that I would know it was real. But something just told me that, man, come on, I going to go through all that mile. But at the point, I let the experience go and I slept off. I just had to sleep
Now
because
let me
it's
ask
just,
you something. This
yeah.
guy was your friend, right?
Yeah, Banky was my friend till today. We still talk.
I want to tell you something, and I don't want you to be embarrassed, but usually you and he and you had done some type of I'll say mischief before. Not that what you were doing was mischief, but you had done some cheeky mischief. Like, not really, it's not evil, but maybe you two picked up girls before together, talk to the ladies together or talk to each other about how, oh yeah, I know how to get more girls than you. Or something about women.
No, I and Banky were more political. We're talking about
No. But
The
let me
Spanish
ask you, no,
Inquisition.
listen.
Okay,
You never ever, he never ever talked to you about women.
about women. Well,
Yeah.
Banky, women will always come up, but we're not women inclined. We're not women focused. That's just the
I
truth.
didn't say you were focused on women. Did you never talk
Okay.
about women? You never talked about women.
Um, Not that I could remember. But I mean, I am Banky. Yeah, obviously, it came up in our discussions. We talked about how the women go for the guys. They leave guys like us that are just calm and okay, and we don't have much problems, and they go for the shiny stuff, and then they end up getting beat up. So we talked about that. We talked about that. I
So
remember that.
you talked about women in, hold on. The reason I'm saying this is
Okay.
what happened to you, there's an element of either you are exploiting or disrespecting the dead, meaning, but I'm not saying you're evil. I'm not saying it was evil. Or you objectified women in, now it doesn't have to be you particularly, but where you were, it was in that setting, because when you tell me what you're telling me before you even go forward, the spirit, and I'm not a devil worshiper or a medium, but Yahweh, I follow the Almighty. But I tell you, wherever you were in that room, it had to do with, I'm not saying it was porno or something evil, but it was an imbalance of, it was an imbalanced
Why are
energy.
you saying that though? Why are you saying that though? Was there something you're not telling me that you know?
It's not, don't get offended, okay? It's not
No,
against you.
I'm not.
You're a great
I'm
brother.
not offended. I'm not offended at all. I'm calm and
I'm telling
I
you this
control my.
because I'm going to tell you why. This particular stream right here. I just want to show like people the work that I do, And when you share your story with us, which is an awesome story, and you say a black snake manifested itself, and you
Exactly.
say mention the thing about the dead, and that's a big deal. But also, it wasn't just the dead, it was you or him, whoever is in that domain, something was going on. It doesn't have to be you, so I don't want you to get defensive, but something was going on where either it was a it was an
But
objective.
Banky didn't see the snake though. I was the
It
one that saw
doesn't
the snake.
it doesn't matter if he saw the snake.
Okay.
There was a situation where women in that energy field, women were seen as, not even that you hate women, but something about women was in there, and a disregard for, or an ignorance about the sacredness of. Let me put it this way: a disregard about the sacredness of sex and the sacredness of death. It doesn't have to be you. So I know you're live right now, and I'm not saying you were doing that, but 100% in that realm, in that area, that's what happened. That's why you saw that snake.
Do you have another theory?
Real quick, let me tell you, Hassan, the snake
Okay.
isn't evil. That wasn't evil. What you did was you drew out what the snake was. You know what it was telling you? If it was
What
a
was it
black
telling me?
snake, the black snake was
Mm-hmm.
saying, you're tapping into power and understanding of something that it's saying, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Because it's dangerous. Can you handle this? It wasn't evil. It wasn't like you're seeing the snake and ooh, stop, beware. It's saying beware that are you ready for what you're calling on? But go on, finish your story. I'll be quiet.
Well, next thing I know it, the next morning I'm awake. I'm paranoid. Um, I know what I saw. I don't tell people what I saw, but people can see that something's wrong somewhere. But the main thing I would
Did
say
you kill
being
the snake or what did you do to it?
no, I let the snake go because finally, because the snake didn't manifest itself at once, it kept coming in bits. The light, it was a light beam, so it did not just come out at once. It was coming gradually until everything was fully manifest. So when everything was fully manifest, I controlled the snake. The snake came out from the yin yang, came down, went back in, and then I let it go. I just slept. I just said, okay, I'm done. I got to sleep.
And it
Then
was not your home, it was his home.
yeah, it was not my home. It was his home.
Are you sure that are you sure you know him very well? Tell the truth.
No, I don't. Banky was
Do
just
you
someone I met in
know that
school.
I'm telling you something. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know if you're still friends with
Okay.
him, but I'm not
Yeah,
saying he's
we still
evil.
talk.
I'm not saying he's evil, but he does things. He's not. I'm gonna say it clearly. I don't. Okay, I'm gonna just do it. Either a woman has used menstrual blood. She's used menstrual blood on him to control him, or he enjoys women like in a perverted way. And it's not just about him being a weirdo. I'm not saying he's, at least he's not, he's not, I'm not saying he's gay, but where you were, there's the kind of vibe in that room where the snake, the spirit was telling you, there's so much energy here. You're not ready for it. You don't, it was like the spirit telling
Yeah, but
you,
yeah, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Banky's been into things in life. I can't tell who he is, but I know he's an initiate. He's been into
he's what?
things in life. I
He's
know
an
he's initiated
initiate.
in his. Yeah, he is. So he does the
What do
thing.
you mean an
Banky.
initiate? So he dealt with women with menstrual blood, like
No, when
eating
I
it.
mean initiate, I mean he's part of a secret cult that they
All right.
do. Yeah, that's what I mean by initiate. So,
Well,
uh,
I'll tell you right now about your friend, and this is something that the Most High wants me to tell you. And people who say, oh, Nepal, you're going to go to, no, this man hasn't told you this, but he does things, and you could choose whether it's evil or not. I'm not trying to, this isn't a Christian broadcast. This is a broadcast about the power of the Almighty. He does use menstrual blood or eat it, or he looks at he does sex magic with other women and sacrifice. Maybe you don't know that, but in that realm that you were in, when you told me a black snake, I had a vision from the Most High, from the spirit realm, and it said sex magic, or I mean, sex magic is good with between husband and wife, but when he's doing it, I promise you, you need to be careful. Not that he's an evil person, but he's not against menstrual blood being mixed into potions and things. He's not. And you could say, Nepal, you're crazy. You got to look into that yourself. And that doesn't mean that your friend is evil. It just means that your friend is you. He doesn't tell you things. The bottom line is there are things that you may not want to do that he will bring you into. That's why you saw the snake, because it says, "Are you ready for this?" That's what the snake said to you. It said, "Are you ready for this?" You understand?
Yeah, I'm understanding what you're saying.
I'm listening again. I just wanted to give you that. Go ahead. And this is good. This is good for you. This is good for you.
Okay, yeah. It's supposed to, because I tried 5 years now to talk this with people that may probably understand a bit, but I ain't found nothing. So it's just me just trying to understand the experience myself. So, like, um,
When you try to understand it, what do you mean by that? Like you saw the snake and you didn't think it could do that? You were confused about the manifestation of
no,
something physical.
I wasn't. It wasn't. I wasn't good. One thing I know. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I said one thing I know is I wasn't afraid. You see, but it is just an etheric snake. What am I going to do with it? So I didn't know what to do with the snake to start with. I was studying the metaphysical that period. You see, so I didn't. Okay, yeah, the snake was there, but I didn't know what to do with it, so I had to let it go. So it wasn't like as if there was a manual that I was studying in the Abramelin or the Necronomicon to teach me how to invoke something that I would send it to do something for me. So I didn't intend to invoke that snake there, but experiences led to me having this meditation within me that led snake to manifest.
What
So, but
medication? What medication?
not med- not medication, meditation. I was having a
Right.
meditation within.
Tell people you weren't under any influence, because people might say you hallucinated.
No. That's the funny thing. I smoke weed. I drink codeine, but I'm not. I wasn't. I didn't smoke that day. I wasn't on any. In fact, it was my friends that were offering to buy me codeine, because nobody will buy you codeine. But that day, people just wanted to buy me codeine. Oh, guy, would take codeine because they felt it would relax me. You see, but I know it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't drugs, because I myself am a spiritual person. So it wasn't, I knew it was finally the spirit kingdom, me experiencing it myself. But really, I wish I knew, if I knew how to send the snake to get me a big house and a big car, I would have done it. But I didn't know what to do with the snake. So I had to let it go.
No, good for you. I'm glad you shared your story. What I gave you, don't just discount it and think, oh, you need to understand. I didn't hear you say he's an initiate. That makes sense. Um, in a lot of rituals, menstrual blood is used. And I don't talk about this so lightly because, I try to be as ladylike as possible, but I'm also a doula, so it's not unladylike for me to speak about something that is real. So be careful. If you don't want to indulge in such things, you have to be careful when you enter his realm. Not even just about you imbibing it, in your physical body, but when you're in that area, what he uses mostly in his rituals is sex, menstrual blood, and things that have to do with those who've transitioned. And I'm not saying he's evil. That's for you to decide. But when you walk in there, you need to understand a lot of initiates use that. Like
But why you particular about the word evil? You keep saying I'm not trying to say he's evil.
no,
Is
because
there
a lot
ever
of
is
people,
there
because people who hear that think he must be doing some kind of evil,
but is there a time that somebody you can categorize somebody as evil?
for when.
No, I'm just asking you. Is there a time you can categorize somebody as evil?
Yeah, people categorize me as evil for what I just read for you. Like I just said, when
No,
you
but
told me your
asking you in particular, is there a time you can categorize a human being as evil?
oh, it's relative. Let me say this. Let me tell you this. For instance, if you told me that he had killed people or he tried to harm you, then you could call that evil. You understand?
Hmm? Okay.
I
Is
can't call him evil because I don't know what he's doing. See, people
okay.
think, well, Yahweh doesn't say anything that against anything that is not specific. And I'm talking to my Hebrew, Israelite, and Bible people. If you want to start talking about what Yahweh says, you got to bring some specifics. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I can't specifically say, I saw your friend, what did you say, Bucksy or Bailey? What's his name? I can't
Bankole.
say Becky took menstrual blood, did a ritual with it, and ate it. I can't say I don't know that, but I do know that the Spirit said He does use it. I know that from what the Most High.
The Most High. You know,
Yeah,
I always hear you say that. But what do you mean by the Most High?
what do you believe in the power?
I mean, what was I don't know. I'm more of the part of the agnostic. I don't know. So how do you all know all this? God,
So
most of these were
do you believe in an almighty power?
belief. If I isn't that more
Do
reason?
you know that there's a power that that
That's
that
it. I don't know. I don't know because
oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
Well,
But but but
there
but
is a
wait.
power.
Okay, okay. Is it by your experience or by your observation?
What?
Is it by your experience or by your observation?
My experience is my observation. It's by fact. Because you told me that a snake manifested itself into your
Exactly.
presence.
Exactly.
Did you make the snake manifest?
Huh? Not by will, but not by total will. But it's obvious it has something to do with me, what I was doing.
No, don't give yourself so much credit. Did you say, hold on, did you
Okay.
say, snake manifested yourself?
Yes, I did say that.
So you said, this is a new part of the story. You sat there and, because before you said you didn't.
Mhm, I'm listening.
No, you don't have to listen. I want you to respond to that. Before you
Yeah,
said,
yes, yeah, I did it. I did it. But as I
you
was
said you
saying,
did not.
okay, yeah, yeah, I did not. What I'm trying to say here is number one, the snake manifested itself, but it did it through what I was doing. I didn't do it like by reading a particular manual or knowing what I was doing, but it's obvious I was the one that did it. Just that
Stop.
I didn't
Stop.
know I didn't know how I did
Stop.
it.
Can you pump your brakes for a second? Because we're going slowly through this.
All
This
right,
isn't a debate.
I'm with
This is
you.
this is a path. This isn't a brawl. We're
Okay,
walking. We're
okay,
walking.
sure,
I
sure.
want you to come. I want you to progress down the path. I don't want to hold you down. You
Thank you.
said the snake manifested itself and you did not I asked you. I said, did you invoke a spirit? it to make the snake appear. I asked you. You said no. So it had nothing to do with you invoking or making or calling on the spirit to manifest.
Well,
You said
that for
that.
sure. That for sure is true. It wasn't like as if I intended to manifest the snake. But one thing to let you know is it was what I was doing, the meditation I was doing, that led to that manifestation.
And hold on. You know why
except
I
you are
always
saying,
tell you to wait? You know why I always tell you to wait every time you say that?
"Oh, it's fine because you want to interject."
Because you're not listening. That is why I told you why the snake. I hate to break the news to you, and I don't want to crush your ego.
Oh, come
The
on, go
spirit.
ahead.
No, I'm not crushing your ego. The spirit of Yahweh, the Almighty, or whatever you want to call that one power. Hold on. Gave
I'm with you.
There are many gods, many spirits. You are one. Dog gods, owl gods, chicken gods, ant gods, meaning there are all kinds of vibration spirits in this realm and outside of the realm. And there are some gods that are very powerful, which we call Loa in Voodoo. We would call them Loa. And in some African spirituality, we call them Orishas. But they're just spirits. They're gods. Spirits, gods. Now, hold on. You are a god and you're a spirit too. So wait, if you don't understand what you've done, you don't have any power. And God means power. Check. God means power. So if you didn't understand what you were doing and you didn't know that you did it, you didn't have power. So you were not a god, meaning you did not manifest the snake. However, there's some good news. The snake was manifested for you because you are special, and the snake manifested as a black snake, not a large snake, a very small to medium size. I'm going to say on the small side. The snake manifested itself, and it was because of the Almighty Yahweh, which you don't have to call him Yahweh, the Almighty power, whatever you want to call the sky god, so to speak, wanted the lesser gods, what you can call Loa, Orishas, Netters, the gods of the earth, to warn you because he loves you and they care. Say, where you are, the snake said, where you are, you're not ready. Or are you ready? The snake manifested itself through the spirits, not through you, to say, you're a son. Do you know what you're doing? Are you ready? The snake basically, through the spirit, said, are you ready? Because this is real. And it's not evil or ungodly, but it is telling you, are you ready? And I gave you information free because it is from the Most High. I don't charge for anything like this to say why. Because what you were doing, and I didn't hear you say it was an initiate, but it makes sense because I was trying to be kind and say, well, maybe he looks at porno or dead sex. Are you guys talking? No. Now I know he's initiate 100%. He uses menstrual blood. He uses blood, basically. He uses blood, which he doesn't do a lot of sacrifice. Maybe he does a couple of animal chickens, which is okay, but not that. He does menstrual blood, and he does death contacts the dead, like of passed on loved ones. He gathers. I just got this right now through the spirit. He gathers things from the dead, like underwear and hair or whatever he can get, and he puts it together for to keep it. He's not a priest. He's not like a hungan. He's not like a bokoa or a sorcerer, but he is dabbling foolishly in what you would say black magic. You could laugh all you want and go on what you say, and you could sit here and try to do some is there a God bullshit, but that's the least of your worries right now. What you need to understand is you are you are putting yourself in a situation where if you come around your friend Bunky, or I forgot his name, Bakey, whatever. I'm not trying to be funny. I forgot his name.
No, his name is Banky. Go ahead.
He is not telling you all the things that he uses. He's not telling you about that. And that's not fair. So
No,
do
but
you get what I'm
we don't discuss his initiate issues because that's secret. I'm not part of it.
Hmm?
But he's told me we don't discuss what he does in his secret places. But
You wait.
we
Right there, Chad. I love talking to you, Hassan, and I want to thank you. You notice how you said he doesn't discuss what he does in his secret places? Don't enter his realm. You don't do that. You're a god. You have your own realm. If he won't tell you what he's doing in his realm and you walk into it, guess what you are? You know what you are? You are his servant. He is your God. He calls you in, and everything you think he's just using the spirits and the Lawa and the Rishas, whatever, he's using you. So this is the warning that the snake, the Most High, bless the name of Yahweh, Yahweh, and bless the Almighty. You know what he does? What the spirits do? There is a commission underneath the Most High that says there are certain people that are special, and you get real warnings. And you got a real warning. You got a real warning. It wasn't anybody talking to you. You got a snake manifesting itself. And what you want to do is claim it for yourself instead of saying, damn, Banky was having me in some bullshit. Like this Negro didn't even tell me what he's really up to. And that's what you need to do. You need to say, the almighty power through all the spirits showed me I am in something that this Negro didn't really tell me about. You get what I'm saying or no? And it's not a fight. It's not a fight. I just want to hear what you have to say. And I'll back down if you don't agree with that. I'll back down because I did my part. Huh?
is it about agreements?
What?
Is it about agreements? Is it about who agrees
No,
with
you
who?
don't have to. No, never, 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 never. You don't. I love
Okay.
that. No, I just want to hear what you think.
Well, I think you're getting somewhere because of some information you have. You say the most high is you see the information you got from the spirit. So I don't know how you're doing that, but I don't know. For me here, I don't understand the experience totally. But the point I'm trying to make here to you is that that experience that I went through, it wasn't what you're trying to say is you're trying to put it as Banky was doing something and it was affecting my reality or something of that nature. But what I'm trying to say here is, though I don't understand the experience totally, I was not a magician in full control of that etheric world, like I summoned something myself. No, I didn't do that. I didn't summon the snake myself. But I was going through a practice that made that snake manifest. And it was a meditation. I keep saying that. I was having a meditation within myself, like an internal dialogue. So it was like what I was dialoguing with manifested itself as a snake.
What were you dialoguing with?
Okay, that's a question because this now is happening within the internal world of me. So it's supposed to be a dialogue between me and myself. So you could say my higher self manifested as the
When you
snake.
wait, I don't mean to interrupt you. When you meditated,
Mhm.
you invoked a spirit?
When I meditated, I invoked the spirit. It seems like that's what it is. But
You
it
said
wasn't
you
just
didn't invoke a spirit when I
what,
asked you.
wait,
Now you
wait,
did.
wait. No way. That's what I'm trying to let you know. That's what I'm trying to let you know that it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. I didn't intend to do it. And I have not learned anywhere that says when you meditate, you're gonna invoke something. I haven't learned that. But I personally feel strongly that that meditation, that internal dialogue, was what led to that manifestation. Because, but you may be more experienced, and you probably have been around these kind of things more, so you may have more to talk about it. But I'm not so experienced in this part. I'm still a new kid in this block, just trying to figure myself out. I'm not saying I got all the answers.
Okay, look, brother. Uh, let me talk to you about you saying you saw some people, like the brother just acting in the comments said, "Oh, it's codeine and weed." Come on, brother. 10 million people do codeine and weed and don't see snakes manifest. Codeine is not a hallucinogenic, just acting, and neither is marijuana. So stop. I won't even delete your comment because I have a lot of love for you. But brother, weed and codeine are not hallucinogenics. Now the brother did not say that he was asleep. He said he saw a snake, but guess what? I didn't even challenge him because that's the common thing to see a black snake manifest. That's one of the main things people see when they are around certain, he called it an initiate or certain energies. I didn't know he was an initiate. I thought you said you two were trying to dabble in spiritual contact. I love you too, just acting.
No, okay. But
What?
I mean, we've spent.
Speak.
Yeah, but I think I don't want to take over the show. I think we should, get into other
I can't
topics.
hear you.
Can you hear me?
No, let me say something to you first off. I appreciate you. I'm not saying you were not a factor because the reason the snake manifested itself is for your knowledge and wisdom and it was foreboding, a harbinger, or whatever you want to call it. But you didn't invoke the spirit to manifest the snake. You didn't say almighty power or whoever you want to call on, which
No,
would have
no,
been.
no, 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 no. I didn't do that.
So this is a great story. Thank you, Hassan, for letting us talk about this. But I do want you to keep your eyes and ears open about your friend, and then come back later and tell me what you found without asking him. Don't go to him and say, "Do you do mental?" Don't do that because obviously he's keeping it from you for a reason. But you should keep your eyes open. And you should ask questions like, I was thinking my girlfriend, do little things like that. We do things on on her moon cycle, and I found it powerful, and I want to keep doing it. And then you open up the door. See, that's how women's mind, our minds are, that's a woman's mind. That's why we're good at that. And then he'll say, "Oh, okay." But if he's very guarded about it, he'll be quiet and he'll just be like, "Oh, okay." And the more you talk about it, he'll finally say, "Yeah, I do that." But for me, the spirit just told me he'll never admit how strongly he uses it. Because you guys aren't, for him, like what you said to me, you guys don't really, you're not simps in the sense. You don't talk about women and you don't do, he's not going to tell you about him using the menstrual blood for power because that'll make him look weak. But he does. The more I talk to you, the more I know it. He does. He does.
All right, cool, cool.
And the spirit just told me this too. Now I don't know if this is wrong or right. He might be a family member. He might be that weak that he can't even get it from his own woman. He might be getting it from everybody, family members, his woman, everybody. He might not have a woman who'll be offering it up like, "Yeah, have it." That's what I see. All praises to the Almighty Power, which I don't know if you don't believe in the Most High. It doesn't matter because you see snakes manifesting themselves. So, yeah. Anything else? Thank you, though. I love your comment. You want to finish your story? Or you want Fallah to talk? Hassan, are you there? I hope I didn't offend you because I really loved your story. So, oh, he's gone. Well, peace, brother. Fallah, do you have anything to say?
Nah, I'm good. I was just trying to see what the topic was and everything, and I'm trying to follow, so I'm lost a little bit. But yeah, I'm good. I don't have nothing to say.
I wonder if anyone came in the StreamYard to jump on. I did. Oh, here's BG. Who's BJ? Oh, there's my brother, Mr. X. I think that's Mr. X. Who's BG? Oh, BG, brother. Peace to you, but I can't right now. I don't need to have any problems, but shalom. Anyway, Mr. TY.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Fala, you gotta say something if you jump on, brother. You can't just sit up here like a rock.
Hey, so what's the topic? Throw a question at me and I'll chime in. You was kind of all over the place with the last brother.
Who's
So
saying that, Fala? Who's saying that, Fala?
Mr. TY is saying that.
Well, what do you think about why are women volunteering their blood? Why not? Why does anybody volunteer their blood? Good question, Rija.
That's the question. Why are women volunteering their blood?
That's what Rija said.
Oh, what can I ask you? What's your topic, and I can just chime in on what you want to talk about.
We're talking about the paranormal, the realm, and shout out to Hassan. That was a great story. I don't know why he hopped off. Maybe he felt like I was trying to diss his friend. I'm not dissing your friend, bro. There's menstrual blood involved, and I'll put a lot on that. Not any kind of spiritual life, human life, but I'll put big money on it. Big money.
Well,
because I know when you said the snake and you talked about the dead, I also saw he's using menstrual blood. So you don't care anyway. If you're not following the laws of the Bible, that shouldn't be a big deal to you. But it is a big deal to you if you're a woman hater. That's where the spirit was showing me the whole negativity of women. Remember, I was like, there's some kind of objectification. I almost thought porn, but I didn't want to say porn because porn is always like an easy given because what a lot of guys look at porn, but it wasn't porn. And then he said, we don't talk about women, but he doesn't talk about women to you. But I can't say 100% because I wasn't there. 98% sure that he's using menstrual blood in his rituals, especially when he said he's an initiate and he's in Africa. Come on.
Well, I've dated women that's tried to keep me in relationships, and I've heard about them using blood and spaghetti and all kinds of stuff. But you know, some mojo is a little stronger than that, so that shit don't always work. As far as men, you said men hating women. That seems like that's a term that's, to me, I think it's a pop culture term. I think there are a lot of men that's frustrated with women. Women have been has not been held accountable for a lot of things for pretty much a long amount of time. So Black men have been taking the grudge of that. You know, it's a finger pointing term for Black men in almost any topic you could think of. So I don't think there's a men hating women. I think the men that you think hate women, you have to remember the past 4 generations were raised by women. So, you know, that's kind of a cycle in one way or another.
So do you think women hate men?
No, I think I think the family structure has been off balance for a long time, where children have been told your mother played the father figure, or your father don't love you, or your mother don't love you, your father played the mother figure, and the balance is off. You know,
okay, let's move away from, I don't mean, go ahead, finish your statement, brother.
I got a nice, interesting animal dream I had. I could throw it at you and see what you think.
That's a good thing. Yeah, get back on the topic. Damn it.
All right, that's what caught me. You guys talking about animals in my cabinet.
A dream. I am definitely good at dream interpretations. Now again, people are like, Napah's a witch. No, I'm not. I'm just
There's no
We're just
such thing as
dialoguing.
witches.
The brother came on, started talking. The Most High said, "Give him this, give him this," and there's a whole host of heaven,
Right.
just like there are human spirits on earth and creation and birds and cats. There's double that in the spirit realm, triple that. There's all kinds of spirits that connect with us. So let's listen to your dream, and if you want, I can interpret it for you, or if you don't
Okay.
want that.
Yeah, you could. I'm completely confident and open, so you could do whatever you want to do with it. You know, we can talk about anything. So here's the dream. I used to go see some friends that used to live like in this area. Like, so imagine walking one block and then making a turn, walking another block, crossing the street, continue to walk forward, and then you make a turn and you're at your friend's house. But if you bring it back to that first step, there used to be a house that used to be right there with some dogs. I used to bark at the dogs and used to walk by.
Is this your dream?
This is my dream. No, this is my reality, and then I dreamt about my path of.
Okay, yeah, I love it. You're giving us background, but you don't have to, because some people are like, "No, Pa, you're a fake," and you don't have to give the background. And maybe I can tell.
I'm giving you a visual. I work in imagery, so I have to give you a visual. So you're walking to this. This is something I did often. I walked down the block to see my friends, but before I got down the block, I teased the dogs. Make a bunch of noise at them, and then I kick the gate, make noise, and then I'll walk down the block, turn the corner, and see my friend. When I walked down the block, I had to cross 2 blocks. That one corner, there was a corner store that used to have garbage on the street. So you have to walk around the trash. So now in my dream, I'm dreaming about going to see my friends, and I'm passing that gate, and I'm ready to bark at the dogs, but the gate is open, and I don't see the dogs.
Wait, don't do that. Don't go straight into the dream.
Okay.
Got to go from the minute you hit your pillow to your head to the pillow. Because you know what I mean? Because we got to follow it. Because I was listening to your reality.
Oh, okay. Yes. So
now we're talking about the dream. I'm ready.
Now I'm talking about the dream. Now in my dream, I'm walking again to go see my friends. I pass by the house with the dogs, but the gate is open and it's dark. And I only see eyes in the far back. So you know what? I've been teasing these dogs. Let me keep walking.
You only see eyes?
Yes, because the dogs are in the shadows. Like the eyes were glowing.
You only see the dog's eyes?
Yes, only see the dog's eyes. So now it's not even a couple of dogs. It's like a bunch of dogs. And it's like one main big dog in the front.
Were they making sound?
They're kind of growling, yes.
But
so
their
anyways,
eyes are their eyes yellow or white?
I think they're kind of reddish. They're kind of reddish. So as I walk down the blocks, the dogs are kind of following me, and I cross the street, and then
so they
I get
came out of the gate.
You said what?
They came out of the gate.
Yes, they came out of the gate. So they follow me across the street, and then once I pass the store with the garbage, I get to the corner, I make the turn, and all of a sudden,
how old were you when you dreamt this? 10, 15?
No,
how old?
like 17, 18.
Okay, 17. Thank you.
Yeah, I was living on my own. So
you were living by yourself?
Yes.
You weren't even in that neighborhood anymore?
Yeah, I'm always in those neighborhoods. Like I'm everywhere.
It was a neighborhood where you grew up?
It was a neighborhood where some friends were. I pretty much just grew over the entire area.
Okay.
So after the dogs follow me and I turn the corner to get to my friend's house, I am back at the gate where the dogs are. But this time they're closer. So I move a little faster. They speed up a little bit. I pass the store. I get to the corner. I'm right back at the gate.
Are they growling while they're following you?
Yeah, they growling, they barking, and everything. So now,
are they walking slowly or are you running?
Each time I loop back, they're closer. So
are you running or are you just walking?
Yes. By the time I get back to a number of loops, they're right on my tail. So once I get to the store and I try to jump over the bags, I fall.
Why are you doing that? You're trying to get away from them?
Yes, I'm trying to get away from them because every time I come back around, they're getting closer and they're chasing me.
Are you in the
So,
dream? Do you think they're gonna bite you?
well, this is where it happens. Where one point I actually fall when they finally almost catch up to me. I fall. They walk up real close, and they kind of like part ways, and there's one bigger dog in the center, and he comes in the middle, and he stands up, and the dog goes, "I got nothing but love for you, baby. We got nothing but love for you, baby." And they sung the 5 Heartbeat song.
Right.
And it was just
Are
all
you
in key.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
So when you had that dream, you weren't 17, right?
I was 17.
Oh, okay. So when were you around the dogs though?
I don't know, for years, probably about a good 2 years.
So you were around the
Like I said,
dogs.
it was a repetitive thing. This is like a common thing. I used to always just go see my friends.
So I'm trying to understand something to get an interpretation for the dream. When you had the dream, when you first were literally around the dogs, you
Mm-hmm.
were not 10, you were like still a teenager, right?
I was still a teenager. This like it was recent.
The dream was recent from the actual experience.
No, like me meeting my friends and starting to travel to their house was recent. So like
Recent
I
relative
just
to what?
befriended
The dream?
them probably a couple of years.
Did you want a job? Let me ask you something. Once you had that dream, did you have a job?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I interpreted the dream. I can give you my interpretation, but you can
Before
analyze
you give
it.
me your interpretation,
I
I
like the
want to
little
give you
tail
mine.
thing there.
Let me give you mine, and then
Okay.
it doesn't have to be like right, but I'm just giving you what I see. When you had that dream, you had a job, and I'm gonna go very, very specific, and you could say, no,
Go
you're
for
wrong.
it. Let's go.
You could
Let's
say,
go.
I'm wrong, but there was either a person in the job or the job itself that you really, really wanted to do. Of course, people like anybody could want to do a job right. No, some people don't give a damn about their job, everyone. But for you specifically, you really, that job was important and you really wanted to do that job correctly. Or maybe you knew you were doing the job well and you felt like the people in the job knew you were doing the job well, but there was just this part, something going on where you either thought you didn't fit or they weren't giving you what you needed. My point is, for me, from what I see, from what I hear you, it is about not about anything about dogs, anything about you were going to be with you got it's very specific about a job. Now, even right now, you might say, no, that's not what I interpreted, but I would like for you to at least entertain this because something was going on with your job at that time. I don't know if it was because it was linked to a baby mama or your mom needing to get extra to whatever, but it was about a job. And I will say this though, you as a brother have now moved forward past that, or you're not doing this anymore. But at the time, you never really had self-doubt, but you had a lot of thoughts where I don't get a fair shot. I don't get a fair shot on things, but I'm doing well. I'm very good. I'm better than the rest, but I don't get a fair shot. Now, I could be completely wrong, but you go ahead and tell me your interpretation.
I think you're right in the range of it. With the way I broke it down, like me running from the dogs, I was nervous of the dogs. I wasn't in fear, but I was nervous. Like I had doubts. And I think the dream kind of told me that the doubts that I had, I really didn't need to have them. It was it seemed like it was something scary, but there's love there, you know? So just like you was just breaking down me possibly just wanting a job. I think at the time I had a job and I don't know, I had a boss where I think he was jealous of a girl that liked me there. And I think I was trying to go to college and I was just doing so much. I was 16, 17 or something like
Talk to
that.
me about your boss because it was a very, for me, I saw a man named, his name doesn't have to be Curtis. Stop, everybody. Everybody stop. But I saw a man who was older than you, but not old, not he wasn't like an old man with a cane.
Nah, he was a short little Italian dude. And there was a girl that worked there. She was like half Italian, half Spanish. So I think
But
he
let
had
me ask
eyes.
you a question. Tell the
Yeah.
truth. You had looking back, you're like, I had nothing to worry about.
No, no. You know, I want to talk about my character, but I would have definitely invited him to the freight room if we needed to work something out, if it was that serious. But I wasn't worried about that. You know, I think, again, I was trying to go to school and I was trying to get time off, but I didn't know that my stepfather at the time had kind of ruined my opportunities to go to college. So I was trying to get time off from my school, my job. And my job was telling me, you know, we can't give you no more time off. You're taking all this time off, but you know, nothing's happening. But me not knowing, this dude messed up I couldn't get PAL, I couldn't get loans or nothing.
Right.
But I didn't know, you know, at the time. Plus, like I said, I was living alone. So it was a lot to balance.
Yeah,
But
you know what? Go ahead.
yeah, it was an interesting time. Interesting time.
And you know what? I see you moved on from that, uh, in a way. And this is public, so this is like I don't really. I'm going to be very general because I don't want to say anything. I don't know you, but I do know this. You still, even though you're doing a great job, going through life. I'm getting emotional right now. I want to start
I
getting. No, I want to say
I
something.
know how you get.
I
I
don't
know
want
how
to
you
start
get.
saying anything,
But time out, can I
brother.
tell you
Brother, let me
something?
tell you something.
Can I tell you something?
You
Can
are
I
no.
tell
I
you
want to
something?
tell you something.
No, sister, you don't
This
want
is. I'm
family
not
to
gonna
tell.
say anything. I'm not gonna.
No, I just want you to get some water. That's all.
I
I
don't
see
need
you
any
standing.
water.
Yeah,
I don't need
okay.
any water. I want you to know
All right,
something.
get hot then. Get hot.
You
I'm
are a
listening.
very good. I don't. What do you mean get hot? Don't be disrespectful. Let me talk. Stop. You're a very strong man. You're a very independent man. You're very self-sufficient, and you've known that for a long time. But I'll tell you something, my brother. You still don't know how great you are. This is from the Most High.
Okay.
Even though you know no one can do, you don't bow down to any other man, but you're not a pompous, proud jerk. But there's something in you that you need to resolve to understand really how great you are, because you still don't know just how great you are. And that is something the Most High wants you to know. And I don't need to talk about it and get all in deep, but I want the yes, everybody out there said, oh, God doesn't, whatever. Do your thing, I'll do my thing. I know what I'm talking about. I don't even know this man. But I'll tell you something, brother. The Most High wants you to know, as great as you are, and you're doing a great job, you don't know just how great you are. It's very important that you know that. So, anyway, I don't need you to respond to that.
I
But
love you.
oh, brother, thank you. I love you too. You need to really connect and understand who you are. Don't ever doubt. As long as you stay true and you serve the Most High. Yeah, I said it. Serve the Most High. That doesn't mean discounting yourself. That means empowering yourself. That means that you be everything that you should be, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to tell you what I just told you, my brother. And then I just got another sign from the Spirit saying, you made a lot. I said too much. Spirit didn't say this. Spirit said he's made so much sacrifice. He's made, the Spirit says, He's made ridiculous amounts of sacrifice. It's not wrong what you did, and that's also good. But brother, understand you're more, even you might think that you're better than anything, but even if you think you're better than anything, you're even more than that. All praise to the Most High. Now what? Okay, everybody. You can say Napah's crazy, but anyway, brother, I just
I'm smiling over here. You know, I'm a little too brown to blush, but I'm smiling.
and it's real.
And can I tell you something? There's days when you radiate. When I say get hot,
Oh,
again,
look at
we're
it.
sun
Go
people.
ahead. Huh?
I
I
said
radiate what?
I said when I said get hot, we remember we're sun people. I'm talking about you radiating. That's all.
Yeah.
I wasn't being disrespectful.
No, you weren't. Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
okay, hot. Yes.
Cause you started fanning. So I said drink water.
No,
You said you
because I
didn't
was
drink water.
scanning because I was becoming verklempt. I was getting
That,
emotional. And
that's
much love to you, brother. Peace to O'Shea. Thank you very much for your donation, my brother. And brother, yeah, I love everybody in here, sisters, brothers. But brother, that was really from it wasn't from me. It wasn't anything from me. It was between you and your power and whatever you deal with, the spirit that you deal with. That's what I want to say. I call the Most High, but you need to know that. Don't just walk away from this and say, "Oh, you need to every time, anytime," which is very, very little time, but anytime you say, "Well, I deserve to do," no, you didn't deserve that because you are special. You are. It's not even about special. You are meant to relax. You're meant to have peace. You're meant to have anything that you encounter that makes you suffer, being the sacrificing person that you are, not like a doormat, but just a giver. You need to say, well, how much of this should I really do? Because this isn't this me getting completely walked all over and going through the fire isn't my place. And a lot of people might hear that and say, Nepal, that's not right. No, hey, I just know what the Most High said to the brother. Okay. Right? And next.
I'm listening. I'm listening and I'm absorbing. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you where are you in a cold state or a warm state?
I'm in the Midwest.
Okay,
I'm
it's
in,
kind of cold
I,
there. Is it snowing? That's
yeah.
what I want to know.
I'm from New York, but I'm out here now.
Is it snowing there?
It's I got a lot of trees around me, so the trees are turning colors. They're all brown now. So not yet. Not yet.
Oh yeah, it's nice. The leaves turning brown are so that's spiritual. You know, people that's called deciduous. When the leaves turn and fall, they're deciduous and
I
everything is
actually have a photo series I'm putting together. I've been photographing out of the same window for a year. So I kind of transitioned, got the transitions of the colors.
that is awesome. That is awesome.
I spoke to you before. This is Zaire, by the way.
Were you on this? What stream were you on?
A couple of your streams. I think one with you, one with Sanetta.
On Sonetter's channel or mine?
I think both of yours.
Awesome. Oh, I think I did. Was it when we did that amazing stream of Mama Lioness?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Wow. Are you the brother who had all the books?
Yes. Yes.
You are?
Yes, indeed. I mean, I'm the one I think I first spoke to. It was a while ago. I think he was on Sonetters, and you was waving and waving your fan and getting warm. And I think I called in. I was like, yo, I noticed that your emotions was kicking in about something. I was trying to talk to you about it, and your thoughts was going. And we talked about a number of topics. I might have emailed you one time, but
I think you are the brother who had those amazing books with Mama Lioness. shout out to Mama Lioness. When you all kept showing each book, you had a different name, right? Like Ra.
No, Zaire,
Oh,
Z-I.
well, are you a photographer?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, I know who you are, but that was an epic. That was such an amazing. That was church. That was a good stream, but you were quiet on that stream. But I want to let you know.
I stumbled on that stream like I stumbled on this one. You know, again, I had just got off a boxing podcast. You know, I talk boxing also with some brothers. So I had just got off the stream and I seen you were live and you were talking about animals and my cat was running around the room crazy. So I was like, you know, let me just click on the link and just see what they're talking about.
Oh wow, cat! Your cat was running around crazy during my
That's the
stream.
one in the
Or
icon. Can you see the icon picture?
oh, I love your cat. Yeah, but was she running around? If it was she or he,
It's a she.
was she running around because of my stream, which I like that, or was it she just running around before?
She does that to get my attention. Like she's jumping on me right now. It's like she hears me talking to you and she just pulled my elbow.
No, cats are telepathic, but they don't, they're very choosy. If your cat isn't telepathic with you and it's your cat and you feeding her, and you're changing her kitty litter or his kitty litter, you need to really sit down and like look at that cat, talk to that cat. Not even telepathically, just sitting and verbally saying, look, you're going to start communicating with me.
Oh, we good. We good. I got her trained. She don't go in the kitchen when I'm cooking. She leaves the room when I'm about to eat. She knows when I'm sleeping. I usually keep her out the room, and she sits on my shoulder when I'm working. You know.
Oh, good. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, she's
Animals are
good people.
beautiful. And much love and peace to you, brother. And
Thank
much
you.
love to my sister Benita Sutton. Thank you for your donation. Thank you, O'Shea, for your donation. Thank you to all the family who are tuning in. And yeah, that was a nice. And let me tell you about dogs and dreams too.
Hmm.
When the dogs weren't saying something innocuous, singing to you, you know, that was a big sign about you making life choices.
Hmm.
And for me, I saw a job because really, I will tell you something else. Like for me, I also want to say this, or I want to ask you, have you ever had a dream about your food talking to you? Peace, just acting. Thank you so much for 10 pounds. Wow, that's a lot of dollars. Just it's like 15, 16, $17, right? And I appreciate even $1. So thank you for the love. So back to you, brother.
I had a
And
dream about crab sticks, but
talk.
I mean crab legs, but I never had crab legs in my life. So I don't know. I don't know how to eat them. I don't know how to open them or nothing. But I was looking for butter and everything.
Okay, but you were
That
gonna
was my
eat them.
last food dream.
They were on a plate.
No, I was just I can't remember where it was. I just had a whole bunch of crab legs and I wanted butter. But again, I'd never ate it, so I don't know what they taste like. So I don't even know how to prepare to eat crab legs, you know, but I know I wanted some butter. So
I
I was like,
love this, Sister Bonita Sutton. Bonita, you know I have a lot of love for you. And I'm not just some hippie that just says I love everybody. I love a lot of people. I just want to let you know that. Let me tell you one of my stories, family. Ooh, just kidding. It was a dark, stormy night. I was just kidding. I'm just kidding, you guys. Oh no. Okay, I'm serious right now. So when I was married, my son, when my son was 5, my son, before I was a Hebrew Israelite, and before I knew that I should eat, with the dietary laws. Oh, excuse me. My son loved crab because I used to give him crab, king crab. And he's a little boy, very curious, and dinosaurs and all this. And whenever after he ate the crab, he wanted the claws. The big thick claw. If you've eaten crab, there's that one big meaty claw. and it's like actually it can clack. It like looks like this, but this is all flesh and
Right.
shell. So I would serve him the legs, and then he'd say, "Mommy, I want those claws," and they were just like this actually, but they're like reddish, orangish, pinkish, whatever. So me being the super attentive mom, and like my son can have anything he wants, so I would clean them out. I would clean them out and keep them for him to play with. And I was very parent. Like I would use bleach and really clean scrub all the flesh and whatever's in there, the
Membrane.
membranes or
I
whatever.
had to read up on it.
There was no meat in there. So we had him all like he ate it a lot, not every day, but like maybe crab legs once a week. And so he always had like a bunch of claws. Some by his toys on the coffee table, some that I put on top of the refrigerator, some that were on the bar the countertop of the bar. So one day I was doing some research on spirits. Not spirit, excuse me, but specifically, because I'm what you call an exorcist, but I'm not a Catholic. I was looking into like and I also meant a demonologist and an angelologist, not just demonology, angelology, just spiritology, whatever you want to call it. So I was looking into very formidable, strong spirits. So I was reading, it was 2009, and I was looking up all this stuff. And YouTube wasn't really like popping like it is now in 2008, 9. And something from the internet led me to YouTube. And then whatever you want to call it, there's a spirit that entered into my protective realm. Spirit came in. Back then, I didn't know what I know now. Okay. And the spirit, or actually not the spirit, but angels or whatever you want to call it, started to give me a harbinger, like a warning, like bad things are coming. Every crab leg shell, every one, that one on top of the refrigerator, on the coffee table, on the bar, started going clack, 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 clack at 3 a.m. when I was working, so you could say doing spirit work. And my husband at the time was hilarious because he was more like you guys are, not you particular, but like, oh, right, you're spooky, oh, you crazy, oh yeah, you're you.
Can I tell you something? I would have started boiling pots. You understand? It wouldn't have been about nothing about you crazy. I just would have went in there and just started cooking shit. We would have cooked everything, and I would have ate it. I would have got the butter. And that's
they were already empty. They're just empty shells. The funny thing was,
all right. Then we would have smashed them. We would have got the hammers.
No.
No,
he
okay.
He was like, the look on somebody's face. Somebody who keeps telling you, oh, haha, yeah, right, okay, got it. You, aha, you pseudo. And when all those crab claws start clacking, he went and looked straight. He was like, what? Of course, he said, what the F? He was like, what the F? And he looked over at my face like, and I was just like, I told you that's how things go. He's like, stop whatever then he started, of course, stop whatever the F you're doing over there. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. But the spirits, when you said crabs, I remember, and even if I call him to this day, we laugh. those things were going clap, 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 clap,
So
clap, 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 clap. It was interesting, but that's just my crab story.
what did you do to stop them? How did they stop?
I didn't do anything to stop it. I actually was laughing. Not laughing like, ha, 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 but I was laughing at his face. And of course, I called on the almighty power, saying, just whatever it is, if it's a malevolent, meaning harmful, I have said, if it's a malevolent spirit, please protect us. Of course, I got rid of the crab claws.
I mean, do you have something to just stop it? You know, like when you say, if it's this, let it be that. If it's that, like you're giving it too many options. Like you need like a stop
No, I'm
sign.
not.
You dig?
I'm
Like
not giving you
sometimes
too
you,
many. Maybe it's something good. Maybe it's something good.
well, I mean, at that moment in time, you didn't feel like having no one in your space. You know, just like if you're out with in physical people and whether you're feeling up or down, somebody's nice or mean, if you just don't want anybody in your space, you have ways of just stopping it. You dig?
I don't. What they're already present.
But yeah, I told this to a
It
sister.
did stop, but I wasn't like, in the name of Jesus. I wasn't doing that
No,
because
that's
it was for me right away. I said, please, Most High. I did probably say Jesus actually, because back then I was saying Jesus. I probably said,
why couldn't you just say stop? You
I didn't have the power over it. to
your
say
voice echoes. You have tonsils, you have a vibration, you have a tongue, you you can put that on the other side of the paper and you can feel it. So if you say stop or
stop,
no,
stop, Mr.
bada
Y,
boom,
Mr. Ty.
bada bing, bada boom, bada
Stop,
bing.
Mr. Ty. Trying to prove a point, but I'm proving a point. When you tell your cat stop, does your cat stop?
We have a language. We really
When
do.
you
I
say
don't necessarily
stop,
say stop, but I can make a sound and she'll know to kind of calm down.
she listens to you because you know the language, right?
Hmm. Yeah, we have
For
to
me,
learn.
I didn't know that I had power and dominion because I
I
was in
mean,
a
but you
Christian.
talk power every day. Like I'm a little surprised. I'm listening to you. I'm watching you smile, and you understand what I'm saying. So I'm not going to go too deep, but I'm a little surprised. And this like when I the first time I saw you, I felt your energy. Like you radiate energy. Like sometimes you tell people like, oh, don't think this, or you might be fuck what they think. It's your power. It's your power naturally. And again, I don't want to say nothing to get you start getting wound up. I see your expressions, your eyebrows, your lips start moving around. So I'm just saying it's
You're
your
not
power.
a human
Recognize
being
it.
like
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
how do you say in 2008 or 9,
Right.
I wasn't where I am 15 years later.
Hey.
I mean 12 years later.
Hey.
15 years later.
You know, you could take a classroom of kids. I used to teach, right? Regardless, like say if you had a class of 20 kids, whatever grade you wanted to be, take all those kids outside and you tell them to run around the block, you don't know who's going to come in place. It could be the short kid, the chubby kid, the kid that you thought was dumb, the kid that you thought was smart. Like everyone comes around their own pace at their own time and right, divinely. I remember trying to find myself at a young age where people thought I should have just been playing games, but I was trying to figure things out, and then when I had an understanding, kids that were older than me were calling me a big brother, just because I had a different insight, not that I was older than them. So, you're a teacher. Like I just see the sister right here, Benita, just called you big sister because you gave her wisdom. She talked about the wealth of knowledge that you dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, but that was
that's
back
just one piece.
for. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you.
That was back in 2004, and today I wouldn't tell the spirit stop. I don't do. The only thing I say to spirits is
Yeah, get yourself a bell, whatever you need. I mean,
I
it's all about vibration. It's all about vibration. If you feel like,
no, stop.
oh,
I can
okay,
speak with authority on this. I don't need a bell or a
okay,
chime or bowls
okay,
or
okay,
spirits. What I do is if a spirit manifests itself now, I could first and foremost contact what for me, the
hey,
Almighty power, which I say is Yahweh, the only power, and I go to the
mhm,
source. Then I say I ask the Most High to put everything in order and under my dominion, under my power, and to keep me protected. So I rule spirits, and the only spirits that are hard to rule are the spirits of human beings. People say, "Oh, she's got a demon on her. That's why she's acting like that." Not always.
that sounds
Sometimes.
like a vibration. You know, people see, like, not to cut you off, not to cut your wisdom. Um, I think I mentioned in one of our last podcasts, men and women, we we're like, it's like, I forget, it's like a trumpet. We have the multiple buttons of flutes. Like the flute doesn't work without you blowing air into it. Your air won't make sound without the flute. Men and women really make a harmony together. They could figure each other out. Now, again, women have the power to radiate power into men. I heard a brother say, men move mountains, but women move men. So I'm saying that to say, y'all women, again, it's your vibration, your voice, your song. It's what you have. It's that should have been on the first page of the Bible, not in the last page. Somebody just knocked on my door, tried to sell me a Bible, tell me that the women's been added in the last couple of pages. And I'm like, that's a whole other conversation. But
The woman is on the first page of the Bible.
hey, I don't know, but
She's in
it
the
was
first.
that
She's in the
that's
very
that's what
first.
she was pitching to me. But it's all right. I'm just saying you already have the power. You already have the
One,
power.
the feminine is mentioned in the very first part of the
Right.
Bible.
Oh, so yeah, back to what I meant to say was a lot of people been taught to radiate that energy in a negative. You have demons or this and that or you're that. Like people can spew out energy where you can feel it. It can affect you. But we actually have that same power on the flip end to radiate good. So when we call out our deities or our gods, we're throwing out that vibration to them. You know what I'm saying? Like we could change our language. It's remember we was talking about language in the beginning, understanding, interpretation, perspective. And we have the language already. The English language is like one of the youngest languages in the world. Like, doctors started removing our tonsils because we used to really radiate shit. Brother Mfudishi was saying like they shortened the names of some of those ancients because their names had so much vibration just when you said it. They had to reduce it to a tut. They had to erase the other 17 letters in the name. You know.
So, are you saying that? What are you saying when it comes to spirits? Because I don't want it to be misunderstood. There
Well,
are, there are spirits that destroy, and there are spirits that harm. But when I say malevolent, it's relative to what's happening in your life. Because when in the Bible, when I think it's Belshazzar, he saw the writing on the wall, the finger writing on the wall.
Right.
He was terrified, and then he needed someone to come and interpret it. It didn't harm everyone at the party. It didn't harm even the interpreter, the spirit. It only was for Nebuchadnezzar's son. My point is, does that make the spirit evil? If the spirit came to terrify him and show him what was to come shortly after, which was right after he got killed, right after he saw it, he got killed. If the spirit came to give him his destiny based on what his fate was, is the spirit evil?
Well, again, I'm a visual artist, so I kind of speak in analogies. So I'm gonna try to answer it and just kind of compare it to some things. Like, is the spirit evil? The spirit only affected this particular person. You mentioned hurt and destroy. Now, with hurt and destroy, I have to still think of it mechanically. You know, if I put my tools inside of a washing machine, it's going to probably destroy that washing machine. So, but I would have to allow the tools to be inside there. So that brings it back to the spirit going into the person, the child, or so forth. You can't allow some things to get inside. We really have to learn how to, like, either close our eyes, remove our hand, you touch a fire. We have to respond. You know, we can't give everything our energy. You know,
What if it comes in it like knocks your head sideways and
well,
hurts?
well, maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe you were distracted. Why didn't you see something coming towards your head? Did it hit you from behind?
What if it threw something from across the room to hit you upside your head?
You know, those are all particular scenarios, but it also
Call it
limits
evil.
your. Well, what I'm saying is it limits your accountability for not being aware.
Yeah, but what if you end up with a concussion and then you go and slip into when you get a brain hemorrhage and you die? Is that an evil spirit?
No, if you're talking about people who die accidentally, like tires
No,
rolling off
I'm
the
talking
highway,
about what if spiritual energy manifest so strongly that it throws like say a clothes iron, an iron across the room, and it hits you upside your head and it kills you.
well, I
Is it
studied.
evil?
No, I don't believe you drop your sandwich on the floor and it falls on the jelly or the peanut butter side. That's the devil. You know, I don't go by that. You know, some things are because they are. Again, um, like they say, if a man doesn't protect a woman, jumping in front of a building, jumping in front of a bullet isn't always protecting her. Sometimes it's just like, hey, don't go there, don't go do that, is protecting her. But if she still goes there, you're putting yourself in harm's way. So now, when it says if something happens, can it be evil? Or if something goes into someone, it changes someone. There's other components to that. If I pour um, water into something that rusts, I know that it rusts. I got to make sure it stays. Like my clippers, I can't let it get wet because it'll rust. I'm accountable for not letting moisture get into that.
Okay,
Now,
but
if I keep it in a wet space, they will rust. If a child has bad energy already around it, it's someone's radiating bad energy on that child, and something wicked hits that child, it might become more wicked. You know,
wicked. Well, talk to me about that word, wicked.
wicked. Well, wickedness is more of a selfishness. You know, it's an entitlement. It's a way of just not being accountable sometimes. You know, like
Okay, got it.
right.
No, I
Yeah.
understand. And I appreciate what you're saying. I just wanted to let someone else join the conversation. I saw on
Gotcha.
your back I probably, I'm getting a little sleepy.
Yeah, I see you yawning over there. I'm actually a night owl, so I'm
I
getting
don't
some.
want to go to bed. I want to continue, but I'm feeling tired. And it's very interesting to talk to you. I'm glad you jumped on this stream.
Thank you.
Both you and Hassan shared some very interesting information.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
I
cool.
would like to hear from the brother again and let him even dialogue with you since he jumped back on. Hassan,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Are you banging the door?
Hey, peace, brother. How you been?
I'm all right. I'm
Good,
calm.
good. I was listening to your story, other brother. Your story earlier, brother. Very enlightening.
Was it?
Hey, all spirits ain't bad spirits, man. Unless it's just like if somebody tells you you can't trust someone, there's probably somebody that can't be trusted. You know, so if you feel like a spirit is bad, maybe there's something in you need to kind of just check with. But welcome, don't no worries, be happy. You know,
But that experience to me was just one experience. I just wonder what the journey of life is really about.
right.
Yeah, because that was just to me that was experience wasn't so big, if you ask
Yeah, I
me.
mean, do you
Yeah,
think snakes are bad animals?
no, I don't.
Oh,
I
okay,
don't.
good.
I live in a snake jungle. I'm
Hey,
in West Africa. We
okay.
were they worship snakes in my place.
What
So
what part of West Africa?
I'm Igbo, Nigeria.
Igbo. I got
Yes, that
Igbo people. I know Igbo people.
okay, okay. So
Yes, yes.
I think what's time over there is 8 a.m. Right?
Say that again.
I say it's 8 a.m. right over there. It's past 12 a.m.
Yes. Well, it's 2 a.m. by me.
2 a.m. How
Yes,
about you, Napa?
yes.
what about my time? It is 105.
Well,
Okay.
no,
Oops.
you're in the West Coast.
Yes. Um, I dropped something. Yeah.
Where are you in the West?
So, huh?
Where are you in the West?
I've said my location before, but I don't feel at liberty
I'm
to
sorry,
say
you don't
it
have.
now.
I was probably on the line late. It's okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. But brother, what's the name again? You say I forgot the name.
The name of what?
Your name. Your name.
Oh, Mr. Ty.
Mr. TY.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you could. What's this Hebrew Israelite movement happening in the United States? Because Senator keeps talking about it.
You
Wait, what
said
did you ask
what?
him? Wait, wait, whoa, excuse me. What are you asking him?
And I was asking him about the Hebrew Israelites issue.
You're
What's
breaking
happening
up
with it?
now. You're breaking up now. You're
Because
asking him about what?
can you hear me? Can you hear me
I
now?
hear you, but you broke up. Yeah, what did you ask him?
Okay, I said I was asking him about the Hebrew Israelite movement. What's that really about?
Why are you
What's that
asking
happening?
him that? Why are you asking him that?
Why am I asking him that?
Yeah.
Because I would love to know more about the Hebrew Israelites.
But did he ever indicate that he was a Hebrew Israelite to you?
No, he's in the States. He's in the States, so he'll probably know about it.
I'm in the States too.
Okay.
You didn't ask me that.
I'm asking you to Napa.
You didn't ask me. You asked him.
Okay, can I ask you now? Sorry about that.
I don't know anything about the Israelites. You can please ask. You can ask the goddess.
He doesn't, you
Okay.
don't even have to answer him.
Why?
Because why are you asking him about the Hebrew Israelites?
Okay, because two of us were on the show when we were talking earlier today. You mentioned Yahweh and all, and you were saying something about
What
me
does that
being
have
teaching
to do
about
with Hebrew Israelites? Loa.
Loa. What does that have to do with Hebrew Israelites? Because I think you
Yeah,
said you
what
were
does
one.
Budun have to do with Hebrew Israelites?
No, you said Yahweh. You said Yahweh.
I also said the Loa.
Okay. But if you know, because you were saying something about. Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Okay, because you were saying something about the Most High, and I was making a comment about I don't know, and you were saying something about me bullshitting about there being no God. So I feel like that's quite an interesting topic to touch on. But I mean, if you don't want to go there, I'm fine.
You didn't ask me. You asked him.
Because he was the one I was talking to. He was the one I was getting acquainted with at that point. So I just
What do
said
you
to
need
ask
to
him,
know about the Hebrew Israelites? Ask me.
what's the movement about? How did they come about? Where are they from?
Have you been living under a rock? Yeah.
Rock?
Have you? You don't know anything about you don't know anything about Hebrew Israelitism?
No, I don't. There's no Hebrews right here in Nigeria. I hear it in
That's not
Saleta
true.
State.
That's a lie. There,
Okay,
IUIC
okay.
it. Listen to
Lo-
me, since you asked
I'm
me a
listening.
question, and this is my stream, or I could kick you off. Don't.
It's
You're
fine.
not going to talk over me. There's GMS in Nigeria. There's IUIC in Nigeria. I don't know who else, but I know they are there. And there are very many Nigerian Hebrew Israelites who live in the UK.
Okay, sorry
So
about the comments. Why don't you tell me
you're
about
not,
the
no, you're
Hebrews?
full of shit. You're full of shit.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You didn't ask me, no one else talk to this guy for a second, please. You didn't ask me anything about Hebrew Israelites. The whole time you told me about your friend and your snake manifesting itself. You didn't talk about Hebrew Israelites. But you think you're going to get on here and ask another brother about it when you didn't even ask me, and he's never even indicated anything at all that he's a Hebrew Israelite.
What if I wanted to hear from him first?
Why?
Because I already know you are a Hebrew Israelite, but I don't know about him. So I just wanted
You
to hear
didn't,
from
what
him.
the hell are you talking? This is why black people, this is why you have problems. You talk in circles and you
This is
talk
why.
bullshit. Hold on. You were talking to me for a good 30, 40 minutes. You say, brought up Yahweh. You didn't ask me about Hebrew Israelites. You jump back on. The brother didn't say a damn thing about anything. You ask him about Hebrew Israelites. Why? You think you're going to
Why
sit
the
on
hell?
my channel? You think you're going to sit on my channel and do some kid and play, knee rubbing and elbow rubbing and cupcaking and bromosexual shit? You want to
But
know something about Hebrew Israelites? I'll tell you.
Okay.
Hebrew
Cool.
Israelites are a belief and a black nationalist movement that empowers black people in the United States and abroad in the diaspora to know that they are the chosen people above any other people. And what it does is counter the abuse and the programming that has been inflicted and put upon the descendants of slaves, African descendants of slaves. That program that's been put upon us for 400 years, it is a way to counter the self-hate and to understand that we are the chosen people. Whether you want to believe it or not, it works. It works. You wouldn't understand that because you've never been a descendant of a slave. You, fortunately, didn't come over here on a slave ship like our ancestors or our forefathers and foremothers. You can't relate to the Hebrew Israelites really, because it is a black nationalist movement at the end of the day. It is to counter slavery. Now, I get a lot of people, brothers and sisters here, don't believe in it. But one thing I will say, and I'm going to talk to you American brothers and sisters abroad and here in the United States, in the islands, be careful with African people trying to make fun of Hebrew Israelitism, because it is a way to heal from the programming that has been done to us as the diaspora and as the victims, the descendants of victims of slavery, the survivors, I should say. Now, I want to ask you something, Hassan. What do you know about the transatlantic slave trade? Let's talk about that before you start trying to rub your elbows with my brothers and sisters against Hebrew Israelites. What do you know about the African slave trade? Talk.
Nothing really. I never observed it. So it was just more written.
I'm sorry, what?
I never really observed it. I never observed
Hold on, everybody. He just said he's never really observed the transatlantic African slave trade, being an African himself. Did you just say that?
Okay.
Did you just say you've never observed? Did you just say you've never observed what has happened to us?
Exactly what I said. Everything was written in a book, so how am I even sure if it's true?
He just said, hold on. I want you to hold on. Let's take this bit by bit. Did you just say you're not sure if it's true?
Exactly what I said.
Got it. So you have no place to ask anyone about anything. You can't ask about the Nation of Islam. You can't ask about the Black Moors. You can't ask about Hebrew Israelites. You can't ask about any Black nationalists grasping at straws in the dark to find out who we are, because you don't know. And I'm offended because you don't get to make you listen to me. I don't want to mute you out. You, as a continental African and a very insensitive one, because you said you don't know about it, never observed it, not sure it's true. You're classified as insensitive. You don't have the right to ask about the psychosis of Black people in America trying to make a history for themselves. You don't have the place. Whether it's a joke, whether it's a fairy tale, you don't get to ask and you don't get to speak on it. You don't, because not only are you continental, you said you're not sure if the African slave trade is real, and then you said, I've never observed it. You might as well you're worse than a white person in America, quite frankly. Because white people at least say, yeah, it happened, but get over it. You say you don't even know if it happened. Now, what were you asking about Hebrew Israelites again?
Because I just want some clarifications. I don't know.
You got it. This is the clarification. Don't ask about it. You have no place to speak about it because you said you're not sure if it happened. The African slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. You say you're not even sure if it's really valid, right?
Exactly.
Have you ever experienced any type of slavery in your history, or is there anything you can say about your people being kidnapped in mass groups and tortured on slave ships? Is there anything in your history that you can speak on? Anything in your personal history?
My personal history. That's my time of being alive. Or because what I'm trying to say here is, yes, I've been to Ghana.
Did you say fallacy? Did you say fallacy?
No, I didn't say fallacy. I said my life so far.
Did you say one fallacy? Did you say one fallacy here is?
What I'm trying to say is, I've gone to the gate of no return where the slaves.
You've gone where? Can you speak clearly? You've gone where?
Can you hear me?
Speak clearly so we can understand you.
Okay. I said I've gone to Ghana, the gate of no return, where the slaves were shipped out from West Africa. So yeah, there was a time I was into the whole slavery thing. I researched it, but really.
You were into the whole slavery thing, meaning what?
Meaning I was trying to say, whoa, what happened? Really? Come on, I was a slave in this world or no? So I tried to research.
You were wondering if you were a slave.
No, I tried, yeah, because it was knowledge coming up. I was getting into the whole woke stuff, you see, but really, I mean.
So you're in America now?
No, I'm not. I'm in Nigeria.
So your family was taken on slave ships?
No. What
are you talking about?
Well, I had.
I don't know, but I feel like you're being defensive on this matter.
You
And
are. You
how are we
should be
going?
defensive. Let me tell you why.
Not
Because
me, you.
you are in Africa. You don't
Okay.
have any place. You don't have any place to speak about the transatlantic slave trade being a fallacy or pseudo. You don't get to talk about it like that. Brothers here who are calling themselves Moors, who say, "Oh, we weren't coming," that's their place. They have the pass because they're descendants of slaves. They have the pass. They're here. You don't get that luxury. You got to sit
Okay.
back and you wait. Whoa. You got to sit back and
Okay.
tell us all about our history. You got to talk about what you know about our rich roots. You don't get to talk about the slave trade, and you don't get to make fun of Hebrew Israelites or Moors or any other black person who's trying to find out their history because it's been torn away from us. And any of my brothers and sisters who team up with you, shame on you. Because this is a brother, but he's not us. You know what you did? You know what you did, Hassan? You said, I want to check out. I don't want to be a part of you. Because guess what? The descendants of this African slave trade, we are the kings and queens. We are the powers over all other black people across the earth. You know why? Because we came through the passage. We came through the fire and the suffering and the death. And we resurrected ourselves, whether you're a Hebrew Israelite, a Muslim, a Moor, even a black atheist. We know you can't ask me anything because guess why? You said, I'm not sure if it's true. You said, I didn't really observe it. And you're continental. If you are a continental African, you should be saying this. I want to know everything. I believe it. My brothers and sisters over there, what do you need? I get it. You brothers making up all these things, your religions and understandings and histories. You are grasping at straws because you were kidnapped and taken over there and you still survive. And not only did we survive, everybody wants to be like us, even you, especially you. See, we are so loving as black people, as African descendants of the African American, as African slaves. We are the kings and queens because we have mercy. We're here and we still look to your continent because now you're separating yourself. I know it's my continent, but I'm speaking in context. We look to your continent and your people and say, we love you. Tell us about our roots. And some of you drop the ball, like you, and say, I don't even think the slave trade is real. Okay, move out the way, Hassan. We're going to go to our brothers and sisters who respect us. And in the interim, you're tuning in to Sawnetter TV. You're tuning into my channel. I'm not tuning into what is it? Your channels out there, the Igbo or whatever it else that you could call it, the Yoruba. I'm not tuning into your shit. You're tuning into mine because you are reaching out to the kings and queens of you. We rule you. We're your masters. So what were you asking? What were you asking again?
What I was going to ask you, you bring up a point of you being kings and queens. So that means you people were the ones that fought the war and failed. So the white man.
No, that doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean we fought the war and failed. Because let me tell you something right now. You're colonized. Whoa. Hey, I can mute you. I can mute you or you can be quiet. You made a statement. I'm going to respond to it. You said we fought the war and failed. It's not about war. It's about spirit. Okay? You're magnetizing to us. We don't magnetize to you. We don't magnetize small. We magnetize up, and then we are merciful. We are like, has anyone ever seen Iron Giant, that movie, Iron Giant? And it's not just America. I'm talking about the diaspora. Any black person who, Caribbean, Europe, here, even in Asia, China, there's African slaves there. I'm talking about all my brothers and sisters. We are the kings and queens. We're your power. We rule you. And the reason is, if you've seen Iron Giant, at the end, the giant was blown to pieces. It's blown to pieces. It seemed desolate, hopeless
Can I
that he would
chime
ever
in?
come. Hold on. It seemed hopeless that he would come back together. But at the end, you saw that one little boat inching toward the magnetism of the power, which was a giant. We're the giants. We are the giant. We're the power. And we're inching back toward our physical selves because our spirit can't be broken. So you could say we failed. We didn't fail. And in fact, if we had failed, you wouldn't be getting. I saw the spirit of your friend who's tricking you and doing all kinds of weird shit while you sit up in his house and drink lean and smoke weed like a victim. I'm the power over you. You're not my power, and we didn't fail. We're your king and we're your queen. We're your power. You bow to us. And we love you for that. You're my brother in Africa. But don't come in here talking about what's about these Hebrew. You know, you don't get to make fun of the Hebrew Israelites. You don't get to do that. Okay? You
I
don't.
wasn't.
Not on my channel.
I was asking a sincere question.
I don't care if it was a sincere question that you pulled out of it. Yeah, it may have been sincere from you, but sincerity from you is ugly because you sincerely believe that the African slave trade, the transatlantic African slave trade, is a farce and a fallacy. You sincerely believe that. So who cares if it was sincere? It's still nasty.
It's just a belief. It's just a belief. It doesn't make it true. It's just a belief.
What's a belief? What's a belief? What's a belief?
The belief that you're talking about me believing that the transatlantic slave trade was a farce. It's just a belief of my opinion. Doesn't make it the all and all facts. It's just another opinion.
I know that. I know it's just a belief.
You make it look like as if it's something so deep. It's just another regular guy on the internet talking about his opinions.
Wow. So let me get this straight. Our people, I don't care if it was 5 of us, to the Negro saying it wasn't as many as they say. I don't care if it's 5 of us. So us coming over here on slave ships, being abused, and then being brought here to work as slaves, raped, buck broken, our men sodomized, our women killed, our children sold away from us, and every other thing you could think about under the sun. Our children being fed to alligators, us being killed and stabbed and lynched. That's just, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a belief. It's just your opinion that it didn't happen. It's just your opinion and you're entitled to it, right?
I'm not entitled to it. It's just a belief. You don't have to take it seriously. You could just
Guess
say, "Oh,
what?
this guy."
Guess what?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Thank you. Thank you. You prove my point. You never saw it as a reality. It's not just a belief to us. It's real. We live it every day. You are looking in on us. And I don't hate my brother. One. You're not all the Africans. You're one. Let me tell you, that's why a lot of our brothers and sisters do latch on to beliefs that say hate Africans. But I'm not a fool. I know you are just the same as a clouded-minded, hurt brother or sister. Let me rephrase that. You're not just the same. Because see, those people come from suffering that say, I hate Africans. They came from suffering. You're just pompous and smug sitting over in Africa and saying, no matter what the white man's done to us, we're still not those niggas that failed and got defeated and taken over to Africa. We're still not them because you said it. I didn't. You said we lost. We call ourselves kings and queens, which you're saying we're not. Everybody take note of this Negro. He's basically saying we're not. He says because you failed. So what is your problem with Black people in America and in the Caribbean and in Europe who are the descendants of slaves? What's your issue with us?
I don't have any issue, you see, but
you just think that it didn't happen, right? You think it didn't happen, right?
I mean, I say it's in the books. I don't trust the books.
So wait, see the slick talk. Hold on, see the slick talk family. I saw it I said, you say it didn't happen. He knows he can't just come right out because he'll be ostracized as a pariah against black people. So he's smooth. He still
Ostracized?
needs to be around us. Wait. I can mute you or you can be quiet. He says,
Okay.
I say, so you think it didn't happen? Instead of saying, no, I don't think it happened, like a real man, he says, quote, well, it's in the books and I can't believe the books. Do the math. Remember we talked about math on the HOK today? The math says that Hassan says that the African slave trade never happened, the transatlantic slave trade. Again, there are brothers and sisters in America who are descendants of the slaves would say, we aren't really the descendants, but the difference between them and you, they actually came from suffering. You didn't. Not the suffering I'm talking about. Of course, you're under the boot of the colonizer. You've been colonized the hell out of you. But with you, you don't have the power we have. See, you didn't get colonized like we did. We're a special kind of people. Because we're still sitting and we're still being, we're experiencing the colonizer's program. You were colonized and your people say, oh, we don't like the white man. Oh, but we're the best. We're the most intelligent. Yes, I love my Nigerian brothers and sisters. I say the Nigerians are some of the most intelligent people on the face of the earth, but not you. Not you.
Oh, ooh.
Not you. No,
Okay,
because you're a clown.
Can brother talk?
You're a clown.
Can a brother talk? It's no issue if I'm a clown. Can a brother talk?
No, you can talk about what? Can you talk about what?
No, the brother that wants to talk. I think brother BJ or something. He wants to say something.
Can I jump in real quick?
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, brother? From Nigeria. How you doing, man? You right?
I didn't catch that, brother.
Right.
You're breaking up.
Hello?
You're breaking up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you right now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, yeah. So you got Nepal real upset because there's a new wave at the moment where foundational Black Americans are kind of recognizing themselves, and they're hypersensitive to some of the disrespect from Africans. You know what I'm trying to say? So at the moment,
and Europeans aren't. Black African Europeans aren't.
No, it's a bit different over here. Like it's just a mix
actually,
of Africans and Caribbeans.
I have family there, and I know a lot of English Black people who are descendants of slaves who share my exact sentiment. So I don't know what you're trying to connect
of course.
with this
I mean,
nigga for.
no one in the UK, I don't believe, don't think the slave trade happened. We know about it. We do history.
Say it again.
So
Say it again.
The Black people in the UK, we don't question the slave trade. We know about it, from the Arabs to the white people. You know, we understand that.
So one more time, because I like to let Negroes. No, this is gonna sink in on my shit right here because I'm upset. This is Sun Netter's channel. I love Sun Netter, but we're gonna talk. What did you say? Do Black people in UK share my sentiment about the African slave trade?
Oh yeah, without a question. We don't question whether it was real or, it's not. That's just a fact. That it's there for history to see. It's there. It's documented. These things. It's not an opinion. It's not. Is it a grave hypothesis?
Is it a grave subject? Is it a very heavy subject?
Oh, absolutely. It has to be.
Now wait. Let me ask you a question. If a continental African to a conscious, intelligent Black person, not somebody that doesn't even know what's going on in the world. If a conscious person, a Black person who knows that it's a grave subject that lives in England, in the UK, heard a continental African who never even experienced it say it didn't happen, would that African descendant of African slaves in Europe be offended? Yes or no?
I believe so.
Thank you.
I believe they will be offended.
You believe that they would be offended, correct? You believe, because I like to be like a cop, like a lawyer, because you got to say things specifically. So they would be offended in Europe, correct?
I think they would be offended in Europe, yes.
So
absolutely.
You have no place coming on. So you're doing great, but you can't come in here and say the Americans, no. African descendants.
No, what? Yeah,
brother,
what I'm trying to do.
I'm going to hand it over to you, but let me get this out. Descendants of the African slave trade, whether they're in Europe, Caribbean, America, even China, they would be offended by some Negro from Africa saying it didn't happen and trying to mock people trying to grasp onto some type of reality about their history. Now I'll let you continue boo-booing and cuddling him up. Go ahead, cuddle him up.
Yeah, no. What I was trying to explain was that it's pretty recent that the Black Americans have identified themselves as foundational Black Americans. That was my
How
point.
recent? How recent?
Within the last two years.
No, that's not true. That's a farce. It's been since at least the 60s, at least, that we've known that we're foundation. Okay. No, it's not right. That's a grave mistake. You said 2 years. It's been decades.
As far as I'm aware. So can I just add?
And I appreciate that you're being honest that you don't know. Let me be sure and clear. It's at least don't rush me. It's at least since the 60s. At least since the 60s. Not recently. Continue.
Well, okay, but recently I've heard, because I've never heard about ADOS or FBA up until recently. A lot of Americans would perpetuate the Pan-Africanism, the African Americanism, but recently I see there's a pushback against that. It's more, no, we are Americans. That is our culture. We're not African Americans. We are just Americans. It's only recently I've heard that type of narrative. So that's the reason why I started by giving that brief account of what's been happening. So I think the brother, so I was trying to explain to the brother that this is the reason why you were exercised at his comments, is because you took that as a form of disrespect, whereas I didn't take it as a form. Let me jump in, because I'm so happy this is my channel. I've blocked a couple of losers so far, and it feels good. I don't take it as a form of disrespect. It is an egregious offense and a disrespect. I'm not imagining it or perceiving it. He is highly disrespectful, and luckily for the colonizer, he has taken on the grabbed the baton that's been relayed to him, and he now is offending me as a descendant of the African slave trade. And not even just that, he tried initially to mock a movement when at the core of the movement, Black people trying to grab onto something real, and that's been torn away from them. He thought he could make fun of it with another person. And I haven't blocked him because I want him to continue to embarrass himself. Then I'll block him from my channel. He has no place. It's not perceived. That's my point. He has offended Black people. See, the thing too, I want to say, if the Nazis were brought up in any slight way to a so-called Jewish person, everyone would sit quiet, lock their lips, and let somebody go off. You do know what happened to Nick Cannon, right? We're still awake, right? But when a Negro comes on with melaninated skin, because he's still a Negro in Africa, and he says very, very disparaging things against my people who have suffered and who are still suffering a program and all the attacks from the colonizer. When a continental brother comes on and tries to joke about it, yeah, hell yeah, I get turned up. And I blocked anybody who says she's this and that. I'm not gonna let him sit on my channel and make fun of anything that Black people are doing here. If he would have said, let's talk about these Muslims, I would have felt the same way. Nobody in Africa is going to make fun of Black people trying to find their heritage when it's a serious thing that we've had it torn away from us. What else do you want to say to rub knees and elbows with this guy and cuddle him up? Just acting. Anything else?
Before he jumps in, I just want to say real quick, Ms. Napah, I appreciate you. Again, I'm not on your channel that often. And it makes me think of a term. Somebody told me a good woman is like a man's conscience. So you kind of seen his objective before I did. Again, I didn't really hear the question at first.
I know you did.
Your radar went off and and yo, you handle it. Yeah, I sat back.
I understand, brother. You're totally not a part of this, and just acting isn't even a part of this. You didn't do anything offensive, but when you come in and try to smooth out the offenses that he's inflicted, that is the problem.
No, I hear you. I wasn't really trying to smooth it out. I don't think you can smooth it out. But what I was trying to do, because the comments were, they were clear. So you can't really smooth it out. I was just trying to bring a bit of understanding to it, because the brother sounds a bit, he sounded confused as to why you were kind of going at him. So I was just trying to interject with, this is the history, this is what's happened. He might know, he might not know, but from what I'm hearing, it seems like he doesn't really know. And he seems like he's,
hey, brother,
he's digging a hole. So, brother, Hassan, just give Nepal an apology, because she
he doesn't even need to apologize, my friend, beloved. He doesn't have to apologize.
Brother,
he believes
I
this.
say to the European brother, your information is wrong too. You understand? Those who control your books control the way you think. You just told the sister that we was just coming into understanding our earth just 2 years ago. While the other brothers over there probably reading a whole bunch of English written books talking about what he thinks is fake. Yeah, we've been fed false narratives for hundreds of years, and the bullshit is over. So I'm glad she checked your ass, and take it as a lesson. All life lessons are blessings, especially when it comes.
Now, this is a brother that is, real quick, just acting. You're ADOS as well, because you're right there in Africa. I mean, right in London. But this brother here in America, something so special when a brother in America, which most of our brothers, and that's why we're the hub. I gotta say it, we're the hub, and that doesn't mean that we're not brothers and sisters. That doesn't mean the Nigerian brother isn't our brother DNA wise. It's like this, family. You got a cousin who's rich and sitting in the high house on the hill, and you've been suffering hell down in the gutters with your family, mama, daddy, whatever you want to say, for years. And then you go to a family reunion and you meet that cousin, Mr. Hassan in Nigeria, and you love him, and you embrace him. And then he starts talking some bullshit over the barbecue sandwich. And you say, after he's clearly says, you really aren't suffering in the gutter. I don't believe that. And I see you looking so good and you're so smart. And I look up to you. So me living on the hill, being a rich kid all my life, there's no way I could look up to a Negro that grew up in the gutter. So it must have not happened. That's when you put your barbecue aside and all, the potato salad, and you say, want to take this outside? Do you want to?
Can I just ask the cat guy a question real quick? Just the cat guy. When did you? So I hear that. Yeah. When did you understand? What books are you reading? Because obviously you've got the right books. So what books are you reading that's telling you the right information about American history? Because I've done a bit of reading myself, but you obviously have the right books. What are you reading, and when did you come to realize that actually you were a unique race of people? Yes, you're African, but you are indeed foundational. When did you realize this? Because I was wrong. So how many years ago did you come to this term?
I was kicked out of Bible study when I was about 6-7 years old for asking too many questions. So I didn't even get to read that many books. I just had an instinct that shit was off,
Yeah, same here. Yeah. No,
so
go ahead.
You and I wasn't told about Marcus Garvey and all of the greats until like my late 20s.
Yeah, so Marcus Garvey. I was about to say RBG movement. Marcus Garvey wasn't 2 years ago, my brother.
Right.
But that's not a foundation. That's not ADOS or FBA movement. That is not. That's a Pan-Africanism. Marcus Garvey was a Pan-Africanist.
That's hold on. Pan-Africanism is so we don't know that we are Africans. That's
not what I'm saying. I think you lot don't understand what I'm trying to say.
Like, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. You're going by us saying, "Nigga, give us our money." That's what you're going by. When we started,
I don't know. No.
Hold on.
I'm going by FBA and ADOS.
You're going
That's
by
what I'm going
ADOS.
by.
Exactly. You're going by when we finally start saying, and the
FBA.
world started listening. Let me talk. You're going by about 2 years ago when we said, we're ADOS. We want that check. We want reparations. You're going by that. But I hate to break the news to you, but my brother here, that's the American brother, can vouch for me, and anyone else in the United States that has a half a brain as a Black person, we've been knowing who we are. We just weren't making a voice about specifically, give us the check. We were too busy saying, could you stop making us pee outside, Jim Crow? Could you stop making us walk up and cut our children and our brothers and sisters down off trees, which is still, lynchings are still going on. So we were too busy worrying about living. Now, because this is the 21st century and we're in 2020, we're like about 2 years ago in 2018, in the mid 2000s, I should say, we're like, you know what? Not mid, but you know what I'm saying, 2017.
Yeah, I hear you. I know.
So now we're like, you know what? Why the hell haven't we asked for reparations? Like really asked for them? Like Native Americans are getting them. Like Jews got something they really didn't. Jewish people, I mean, got something they really didn't. Why the hell haven't we asked for it? Oh, I know why. Because we're too busy trying to live. Now we're living. Now we're waiting. No. I'm not finished because you wanted to challenge him. You didn't challenge me. We've been saying who we are. You just are in England. I don't know if you're a Nigerian as well that doesn't get it, or if you're Caribbean. I'm going to say I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But we're over here saying we need reparations. And guess what's going to happen after we get our reparations? English are going to get reparations finally. The Brazilians, the descendants of slaves, the Caribbeans. No, you can jump in after I'm finished. Right. So asking him what books did he read? Marcus Garvey? Just leaving him out there? Or any other Black revolutionary that knew, hey, we're from Africa. Well, you know, who's from Liberia? Anybody want to raise their hand? Go ahead and say something.
All right. My point about bringing up books is because the guy said to me that, you know, I'm obviously reading the wrong books. So that's the reason why I brought up books. But as I mentioned about...
Just to correct you, I didn't say that. I said they've been giving you the wrong narrative.
My apologies. Sorry, I got the wrong end of the stick. I apologize, brother. But the reason why I said it was 2 years ago and I didn't say, oh, it was in the 60s, because it, you know, when HR 40, which is like a reparations bill, was produced a few years ago, it wasn't for the descendants of American slaves or the foundational Black Americans. It was for people who were African Americans. So if Hassan came to America for a couple of years, he would be entitled. This is my point. But so when I say, oh, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, just a few years ago.
Wait, back up a little bit, just acting. Did you just say, what did you say about, go back and say what you said about.
Listen, I'm going to say.
The movement was only foundational Africans.
Let me say it again.
Please.
Let me say it again. When I mentioned the fact that Americans have recognized themselves as being foundational Black Americans, and it only happened a couple of years ago, I meant the whole fact of recognizing that you are foundational Black Americans, not African Americans. So that's a new thing. The reparations bill that you're talking about, or asking for reparations, is not the reason why I've said that. It's not, because the HR 40 bill, which was a reparations bill for the introduced to the Senate years ago, that was for just Black Americans, or slave. It could be anyone. It wasn't for the foundational Black Americans. It wasn't for the ancestors.
Wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You don't know what you're saying, and he's right to say this to you. I will say you don't know, because you're wrong. We've always known that we are the descendants of African slaves. We've always known that we were African, and specifically descendants of African slaves. We never thought, well, we're just Africans and we just sprouted out of the ground here. We've always known that we're descendants of African slaves.
Where is the evidence of this before the time I mentioned? So before
2 years ago?
Yeah, where's the evidence that you've recognized that, it's not just we're all one, Africa, if you're in America and you've got an American accent, you are part of the American when has this
Are
been
you
recognized?
serious?
Apart from Dr. Claude
Every
Anderson, which is
black
who I know.
person here, every African American, so to speak, every person that acknowledged that they have African descent, every Pan-African knew that they got here on a slave ship.
But you're not talking. You're. I think you're on a different track to what I'm talking about.
I'm not.
You're not.
I scream because you're being ridiculous. Stop. I don't want to mute you. You're trying to say that we were Pan-Africans, but we just were Pan-Africans. We didn't really include slavery. You're full of shit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Napah.
I don't want to mute you. Stop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We didn't need to specify shit for retarded people back then. Because people were on point. We knew we got here from slavery. Now niggas are convoluted and confused and programmed to the hell. We didn't need to say, oh, because of slavery. We knew it was because of slavery, and we identified that it was slavery in African. And anybody say, she's crazy, she's loud. I'm sick of shit. And it's not you just acting. I have a lot of respect, but this is bullshit. Oh, but yeah, you were always saying you were Africans, but you never said you were slaves. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Not even you just acting. It's not even directed. It's like everyone is sick. Well, were you saying that you were actually Pan-Africans, descendants of slaves? You think we didn't know how we got here? Is this Africa? That's rhetorical. We didn't need to specify.
So why are you specifying now? So what I'm saying is, why is there a specific? It's
not about why we're specifying now. You're trying to say that we just started to understand the whole story. You're acting we had one.
I couldn't say that because I listened to Dr. Claude Anderson and he was saying this in the early 90s. So I can't possibly say that. I can't.
So you're saying Marcus Garvey, who said we are RBG, Black African, Pan-Africanism, and everyone else, the fathers of Pan-Africanism. You're saying that as they showed us, look, you're African, to link us back. Why were they linking us back? Because we were kidnapped and dropped here with nothing, erased from our history in our minds. Hold that thought. So when the Pan-African forefathers said, you're Africans. Don't you see Africa? Look at Africa, how beautiful it is. That's where we're from. You're saying that it wasn't understood by the half-brain moron that we were here because we're slaves. The movement didn't teach slave, slave, slave. It taught you're not just here. You're actually Pan-African. You're an African. It taught us about our roots. Now, the complexity of the matter is it was understood and it wasn't pushed that we should be fighting for our reparations for all the blood, sweat, and tears and building that we did of this place. That wasn't the dire need at the time. The need was to heal our minds and say, you're not a slave. They didn't even want to mention slavery. And a lot of people still don't. That's the problem, though. See, now that we've progressed and we're here now in the 21st century and it's 2020, now we are well-rounded in saying, yes, we're Africans. And God damn it, we were slaves kidnapped. We understand it and speak it. But it's always been known that we are the descendants of slaves. And I'm not an expert on this. I'm not an expert on ADOS. It's simple. And anybody that says, oh, so you don't know what you're talking about because they never, you can go, why don't you just take a whole seat somewhere? And I'm not going to let anybody jump in and say, I understand what you're saying, but my point is, no, your point is bullshit. We're Africans. We are slaves from Africa, descendants, we're not slaves anymore, so to speak. We're the descendants of people who were kidnapped in droves and brought here and other places, Europe, the Caribbean, to work, Brazil, South America. We were brought there to work. We're African descendants. We've always known that. This isn't 2 years ago. Now, somebody that wants to jump in and speak on this path and not bring some bullshit, please take over. But I'm not going to sit here on my channel and let people who are in Europe and Africa tell us that we didn't know that we were freaking African slaves more than 2 years ago.
Hold on, Napah. Hold on, though. I hear what you're saying, but what exactly what are you talking about? What are you arguing with me about? What did I say that you're not?
You got on here saying,
digging?
brother, oh brother, how are you? You didn't say how am I? It's my channel. Hold on, you asked me a question. Don't interrupt me. You said, oh brother, a son who says that slavery didn't happen. Let me tell you what's going on in America. See, these Americans just recently found out that they're slaves. And they just figured it out that they're descendants of the Africans. So I understand that you think Napah was maybe upset with you and she didn't know. No, you don't get on my channel doing that. You get on here.
I hear you, but you can't shame me for being respectful.
I'm not
Napah.
shaming you. I'm telling you the truth, what you did. Anybody that hates me can just scroll back. You can still hate me, but go back and hear the truth. You came on and said, peace, brother. Brother that said that the African slave trade never happened. Let me just say, those Americans over there, they just recently, 2 years ago, found out that they're descendants of the African slaves. You can't get mad at them and get upset if they are upset over you saying that they are not really descendants of African slaves. And guess what, brother? I'm going to totally ignore that you came on here trying to attempt to make fun of Black people making up shit. I'm going to go for it. Look, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, making up shit to hold on to something. That's what the nigga was trying. I said the word. I'm trying not to, Lord. That's what the African brother was trying to do. He was trying to make fun of us grasping at straws in the dark. He's not going to get on my channel. I didn't see that. He can go over to Sonetter's channel or anybody else's channel. He's not going to get on my channel and make fun. And it just so happened he said Hebrew Israelite. The Most High knows if he would have said Moors, if he would have said the gods, the five percenters, if he would have said Muslims, I would have still had the same fire. Nobody in continental Africa is going to make fun of the sadness of us. And I realize that the Hebrew Israelites can be very ridiculous to a lot of people. I agree, 5 percenters, Nation of Islam. I agree we can look real silly, but guess what? You don't have our problem. Your ancestors weren't kidnapped and then brought over here and purposefully had their information and their history erased from them. And I'm not trying to get violins going and sensationalism. This is real. So you're not going to, as a continental African who blessed the name of the Most High, that you can sit down as a brother and say, well, I'm Nigerian. I can link all the way back to the beautiful, rich history of my African heritage. You don't get to come in my house and make fun of anything that Black people are doing over here when it comes to trying to say who they are. And I mean that. It's not, she's a Hebrew Israelite. No, it's not because I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I don't appreciate my brothers and sisters of the continental Africa. Not very many do this, but I have encountered more than enough who try to make fun of us. What? Listen carefully. Making up shit to link us back to who we are. And that goes for us being Kemetic as well. You don't get to make fun of anything that we do. That's the real deal.
Yeah, no, I do. I hear what you're coming from, but I wasn't trying to come in on a defense tip. I'm just trying to be respectful.
I'm not talking about you, brother. Yes, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Hassan, the person you've been defending for the past 40 minutes. He can speak for himself, my brother. You are also a descendant of the slave trade. So Be careful. I know you're over there in the Queen's under the Queen's rule. You better be careful too. You are just the same as us. You got it?
Now, I hear you. I'm not confused. I'm well read, Napah. I'm all right.
And let's talk to this guy. Look, just acting, I have a lot of love for you, but don't defend any of our brothers and sisters who sit up and say that the slave trade didn't happen. Don't
No
do
defense. I wasn't defending no one, but go on, Hassan. What are you saying?
Oh,
Still
thank
there?
you. I'm
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah.
Okay, because what I was asking about was the Hebrew Israelite movement, but I didn't even know the Hebrew Israelite was like a nationalist movement. But now I know. Now I know. But that aside, the point here now would be, how can you actually trust that the Hebrew Israelite doctrine would actually do what it says it would do?
Well, that's to you, Napah.
Why do you care?
You said you are our queens and kings that went over there, so obviously we're expecting people to return and save the continent.
Hold on, everyone. Tune in. Wait, this is teaching. Tune in. I said black people in general are kings and queens, and you said we're not. And now you wait, whoa. Now
Okay,
you just said it, brother. Don't do it. Don't be Joe Biden. Don't be brother. I'll let you talk. I'll let you talk. You said you say that you're kings and queens.
I didn't say that. You said that. You said that you are the kings that were taking over there. The kings and queens that were taking over.
I didn't say Hebrew Israelites. I said black.
No,
I said
black people.
I said Africa.
Yeah. Okay. Move on. I'm with you.
No, I'm not moving on. This is my channel, and I love it that I don't have to move on. I don't have anybody tell me, okay, Nepal, just be quiet. No, I got this. No, we're not going to move on. You said it. This is the second time you've said it. You said, when I first said it, that we are the kings and queens that you look up to from continental Africa. You said we're not. What?
Okay, move on. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to move on. I don't think you understand how to say it in English. You should say, you're being quiet. You should say, okay, move on means like don't speak on it anymore. Listen.
I'm sorry about that. Go ahead.
It's okay. Listen. You're saying over and over that we're not the kings and queens. You don't, and then it has nothing to do with Hebrew Israelites. You don't think that the ADOS, the African people of the diaspora and here in America especially, are kings and queens because we failed, right? That's what you said.
Well, I was responding to your claims. I don't believe you are kings and queens. I mean, I don't believe that. But it's just a belief, because I mean, who best to capture if not the kings and queens?
Well, hold on. We gotta take this in little bits because I love it. He said, "I don't believe you're kings and queens because we got captured." He doesn't believe we're kings and queens. Are you not understanding that these people like him who are continental? There's about 30% of them who think I'm lowballing. Who think they're better than us. Yet they sit and watch us and try to be like us in America.
You're not getting me, Napah. You're not getting me. You're not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying you said you are kings and queens because you crossed over and made it something about.
I didn't say because, and no, I said, hey. I didn't say because we crossed over anything. I said because we are the ones who have risen out of the diversity, and that's really saying it lightly. We're the ones that have risen out of the death, the diversity, the slavery, the inhumanity. We've risen out of it, and we still are looked upon by you and all the other Africans and all the other diaspora, all the other countries, Americans especially, Black Americans. We're looked upon. You magnetize to us. We don't magnetize to you. I don't see anybody trying to do anything. Wait, hold on. We are loving. Wait a minute. We are loving and intelligent. We want to know about you. But if we didn't know about you, we'd be still the bomb. We'd still be the leaders. We'd still be the best. We'd still be the Africans, the descendants of slaves. So we are the kings and queens. If we didn't, but we are the open-minded people. That's why we're the kings and queens. We want to find out about you. We reach out and show you love, but we don't need to. You in Nigeria need to look at us in the West. We don't need to look at you in the sense of to survive in this culture, in this world today. But what we do as the kings and queens, we say, no, I want to know about my brother in Nigeria. I want to know about my sister in Nigeria. I want to know my history and my roots, because guess what? We know when we dig, we're going to see, God damn it, we were kings and queens just like we thought. And if you dig, you're going to be our servant. You know it in your heart. That's why you say we're not. That's why you're looking at us. I'm not looking at you. I don't see Americans going to Nigerians and following what Nigerians do. Not saying you're not my people. Not saying that you're not the most beautiful people because you're a part of us. But when we're starting talking about the separation and who's been brought here and who hasn't, we walk through the fire and we're still the bomb over you. See, my point is, a lot of people say slavery happened to a lot of people. You're goddamn right. But we are the ones who came out on the top. Everybody wants to be like us, wants our minds, our spirit, our bodies, our everything. They want everything from us. And it doesn't, I'm not talking about melanin, light skin, dark. I mean, us. All of you want something from us. And we're here to give it to you. And we're here to find out about ourselves. But we are the kings and queens, brother. Just because you got the drop on us, not you, but I'm talking about the colonizer. Just because the colonizer got the drop on us, rounded us up and put us on some slave ships, it didn't take away from our royalty. That's what you don't understand, because you've never experienced what we've experienced. You don't have the profundity. You don't have the depth of mind to understand that. You don't have the depth of mind, but you can figure that out. One day you will figure that out instead of sitting on your high horse and your laurels and trying to sit up in Gargamel's apartment room, stirring up period blood and seeing snakes manifest. Instead of that, you might need to find out about who is the power. And then instead of trying to say we weren't really, it didn't happen, trying to say, oh, the slave trade didn't happen, you might want to get up under it and then get the energy from it and be the king and the king that you're supposed to be. That's my point. But that's too deep for you. You talk about you see snakes manifest, and then your black ass is going to say the slave trade didn't happen? Make that make sense.
Can I talk now?
Did you say you saw a snake manifest itself out of thin air?
Yeah, I said that.
But the slave trade.
That was
but the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen. But the transatlantic, hold on. I'm going to let you talk in 3 seconds. But the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen. But you saw a magic snake come out of the air. Go ahead and talk.
All right. So now that we're talking about slavery, the question that what did the Africans really do that got these people to enslave them? Whoever did. I mean, if the story is true, because Africans can come and tell me, we're all cool and nice. Our land was full of people wanted things in our land. That's why they came to fight us. So what did the Africans really do that made people hate them that much to make them that kind of slaves in life?
Are you serious? What do you mean?
Yeah,
Let me tell you that. Let me answer your question. God damn, you need to do some history. Basic 101. The Dahomey were fighting the Yoruba like with the hatred. The Dahomey and the Yoruba on the continent of Africa, on the shores of the west coast of Africa, on the shores of Africa, they were hating so much each other that they were kidnapped. And that's not just I just threw them out because it's popular. Tribes fight all the time amongst each other. Families kill each other. Organized families who are vying for power. They fought with blood. They kidnapped each other. Then the colonizer came in, just like now. Hold on. You're a brother. You're my brother. You're a Negro, so to speak. You're not American, but you're African. You're a black man. They come in and they got you. You already ready made. Shit, they don't have to do much. You see those niggas over there in America? They say that they're slaves, and you say, oh, they're not. They hand you some rifles. They show you maybe some rocket launchers in this day and age. I don't know, a rocket to Mars. I don't know what they would offer you today, but it's something that nobody else can get. And then you say, oh, hell yeah, I want to live on Mars for the whole summer. What you got to do? Capture some Negroes? Hell yeah, I'll go get them. And then you and your people who don't believe who we are kidnap us, and you take us to the colonizer, and the rest is history. I mean, why is that so hard for you to believe? You right now said this is a foundational, very grave situation, meaning the slave trade. When you are a black man who is rooted in Africa, and now I'm getting emotional. I can feel the pain coming out. I mean, I know I'm very harsh right now, but it saddens me. You're a brother. You're in the continent of Africa. You have the ability to make things right. And you sit up there like a typical nigga, excuse me, I'm sorry, like a Negro-minded person with a coon concept. And you haven't even been over here colonizing program. But you sit over there talking about, I don't think it's happened because I haven't seen it. But my roommate manifested a whole black snake. Like, you over here talking about it didn't happen. And you are supposed to be responsible. There's a time right now, it's a paradigm shift. You as a black man should be saying, look, I know I read it didn't happen, but this shit don't seem right. I think snakes can manifest themselves out of thin air. My brothers and sisters most probably were kidnapped and put on slave ships. You see what I'm saying? But instead, you want to say, I don't think it happened. You're under a program yourself, brother. And with that understood, I have love and sadness for you. I'm going to hope that you find the truth out. Goddamn right we were on slave ships, and it did happen. It did. But you know why you don't think it happened? Because look how awesome we are. We're the best. We're literally the best people on the face of the earth. It's not because I'm black, but thank you, Most High. All praises to the Most High power that I am. You can't believe that we are so awesome and that we were slaves. You can't. You can't wrap your mind around it. It happened. That's all.
All right. So you're saying that the Africans, due to war, sold themselves to the white man? It's fine. Go ahead.
I have a lot of love for you, brother. Even if I know I got upset, and look, you're our brother. You come on, brother. Come on. I don't hate you. I'm not gonna block you. I just think you need to stop and think more or look at more. If you can believe, which I believe that a snake manifests itself. If you can wrap your mind around a snake manifesting itself out of thin air, how can you not understand that the slave
What do you
trade,
think happened, Hassan? What do you think? Because you must understand
Frank,
the slave
I'll
trade
let him
happened.
talk. I'm gonna mute out.
You must believe it happened. You can't be
What,
serious, honestly.
what I'm
Are you
teaching,
just trolling? Just
no, I'm not
admit you're just
trolling.
having a little laugh.
I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling. Come on.
Okay.
I really want to understand things, but I'm not just going to go off someone said or someone wrote and I'll just say, okay, that's it.
In Nigeria, what did they teach about the slave trade? What was the curriculum?
The funny thing, no, we never learnt it. It's something we never learnt it. It was never in the books. So this is something that it's not something that's present in Nigeria. But the reason why I'm even knowing about slavery was because I studied in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
And
what did they teach you in Ghana about slavery?
They don't teach anything. But the thing in Ghana was there was a presence, there was evidence that some people were locked up and transported out of the country. You see? But there were castles. There were I know 2 castles that I've been to. Because I've
The
researched this
Moors.
place. There's one Elmina Castle, and there's another castle at Cape Coast. You see?
Right.
So I've gone there. I saw they say it's a gate of no return. Africans will be kept there. The generals, in fact, on top of where the Africans were kept before being transported was a church. You see?
You
Yeah,
see, I didn't know any of that. You see, but
yeah,
so obviously there's evidence there. So
yeah,
your
yeah,
comment
yeah,
was a
yeah.
bit. So you do know it actually happened. You were
No,
you were
but
being a bit.
the fact that there is someone built a house and claims people were there doesn't mean that was what was happening there. I never
Right.
experienced it. You
Right.
see?
Okay. I
So
mean, you're being a bit disingenuous now. Honestly, you are. You must understand.
I
You're being a bit, just a little bit, because you're saying that. Yeah, the evidence is there. There's stuff written in books, but boy, I wasn't there, so I don't know. That's what you're doing, and you know you can understand why.
but
You know why
but 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 yeah, you asked me a question initially that what do I think really happened?
Yeah. What do you think really
Yeah.
happened?
Going with the narrative that slavery really existed, you see, because we could go with that narrative. What I would say is that the Africans were like a blessed race, you see, and
Mhm.
the other races got to know about this and they didn't like it, and that was why they ganged up against us. And
Mhm.
that aside, we being a blessed race, I think at the point we got pompous, we got proud, we malused our power that was given to us. Because if the
Yeah, you
spirit,
see, the thing is, right,
if the
for
spirit
for African Americans, it's a lot deeper than, oh yeah, it's a bit pompous, because I mean, maybe do some reading on what happened in the plantations and with some of these slave owners, and in America, the history is brutal, especially in the Caribbean. If you want to read up on how black people were treated purely because they were black and they were from Africa or wherever they were taken from, you know,
exactly,
they
why wouldn't it be brutal when you got all the resources in your land? All the resources in the earth is found in the highest abundance in your land. But for some reason, you don't want to share it equally amongst other people. You want to hold on to it. Now, I'm not saying this is what happened.
what?
This is just what my mind is telling me, that Africans started overdoing the fact that they had their life going on well, and they were like like in the promised land and in the right land. And something for some reason turned against them and showed them that, whoa, the fact that you're in this land doesn't mean that it is totally yours. And that was what the effect of the slavery brought about. But this is still hypothetical. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying this is what I think happened. I think because for some reason, Africa is the land where the world gets its manufacturing resources from.
It's the breadbasket of the world. Yeah, that's what they say,
Yeah,
Africa.
do you
Do you
get?
believe in white? Have you ever heard of white supremacy?
Yeah, I've heard of white supremacy.
What is it? What do you think it is?
White supremacy is Napa telling me that she is a more special African than I am. You get?
That's white supremacy for you, really?
No, this will now be black supremacy. That she that's over there in the diaspora, she that's in America because of she has gone through everything that or whatever. Maybe she was even a queen
You could
before
only
she
have
left
one
Africa.
supremacy. That's the whole point of it being supreme. So there can't be a black supremacy. That doesn't
No, no,
make
no,
any
no, no, no,
sense.
no. Amongst the black race,
Right.
you can say that I am more supreme than you are. That's a fellow human being feeling like they got more juice in them than you got. She
Yeah, but
says,
these are all words. White supremacy is not just words. It's a thought, idea, and an action.
okay,
Yeah,
but
that's what white supremacy. You're talking about words and
the
people
real
being
white
horrible to
supremacy,
you. That's not what we're talking about. White supremacy is different.
the real white supremacy is the white man thinking he's the greater race above other races. Is that not it?
I believe so, but mainly the black race. I think white supremacy started in Africa, is what I believe. Um, I honestly believe that it started in Africa, because if you look around the African nations, you scratch your head as to why no African nation is fighting white supremacy. It's only the Americans. It's purely black Americans that fight white supremacy to its core. Everybody else chips in a little bit here and there, but I think black Americans take the lead when it comes down to fighting white supremacy and fighting for justice. And I think that's the problem. We've got a whole nation, we've got a whole continent of dark-skinned people in Africa that are not doing this. And then you come on, the internet saying you're not really sure if the and slave trade even happened. You know, it's just not a good look for Africans. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but where my defense is coming from, what I'm trying to say here is, we as me as a scholar studying, I don't trust what I'm seeing these days. Even as far as seeing a whole castle claim to be a place where slaves were kept. You see, I feel like these are deep topics that we can't just jump straight and say, this is what happened. This is what happened.
So what do you believe? If history, if what you see, what you read, you can't believe it because you were never physically there, what do you believe? What is the only things you believe, or what you actually experience or see?
Exactly what I'm telling you, brother.
That's a very difficult place to live, my friend, because how could you just believe only what you see, or you must have more senses than that, surely.
But really, my brother, what I'm trying to say here is, let's not just jump to conclusions. You see, I was asking about the Hebrew Israelite because I've been seeing Sanetta going on them. So I just wanted to ask, what's that belief? I just wanted to hear about that. You see, because it's not something that's common here. We don't see people saying that they're Hebrew Israelite here. But really, the program, I feel the Americans over there are going through more of an awakening than we here in Africa are going on. People are going to church here. People are Muslims here. People are not really talking about slavery, nationality.
No, you're right. No, they're not. And that's why you probably don't, and that's probably where your attitude stems from. The fact that in Africa, you don't really focus on that. There's a lot of tribal wars in Africa. Africa, you know, they're blinded to white supremacy. They're just fighting each other. And I think it's really sad. But so, you know, really, we've got to take a hats off to the Americans, because they're the only ones fighting white supremacy. And it's mad because they're a small group of people. You've got a whole continent in Africa. They're just killing each other. You got SARS over in Nigeria. I don't know what's going on over there, but it's like, you know, anytime a white man goes to Africa, he's on someone's shoulders being made a chief or something. It's not a good look, my friend. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
White man goes to Africa has made it.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but a lot of stuff that I've seen, and I'm being real. I've just seen it on media. I've not actually seen it personally. I've seen images of just a random white man going to America and get made chief of a village or something. I'm like, what? You know, he's not even doing anything.
My brother.
Can you speak on that?
Really. The main point here, what someone like me is saying here is, what do we do now? What do we do? It's not about tearing each other up. So what is the way forward?
Hey, can I give you some insight, brothers?
I'm listening, brother.
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to y'all, and I feel good that I can actually hear the voices of the brother with the picture of the cigarettes. Are you you can see yourself a black man, African man, or what?
Yeah, I'm a black man. I'm black. Yeah.
Okay. It's great to hear your perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like, your British accent alone is throwing me off a little bit, you know? And the brother,
so I speak a bit fast.
Right. And the brother, you from Nigeria. My ex-wife was from Nigeria. You know, she was Yoruba. So I think you asked, what do we do, right?
Exactly.
Now, a quick question, and see if you can answer this really quick. How long you think people been on this planet?
I don't know. I'm mostly on the I don't know part.
Can you just throw a random number, a few thousand years, a few million years, or no?
I can't. I don't know. That
right.
It falls on that knowledge that we can't know because we're not the
well,
built this.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I've been looking into. You know, people, we're talking about regions and where we're from, but we're like deeper than that. You know, in Nigeria, I know being Christian and being Muslim is like some of the primary religions, correct?
Exactly.
So just being under that blanket of thought to even think about what else is out there, sometimes you won't even allow yourself to come from underneath the covers and think about how long life could have been here on this planet, you know? So it's just like, from some of the studies I've learned, every corner of the world was all black people at one time. You know, like what you think is Europe, like where the brother lives up in Europe with the British accent, that was Western Asia at one time. You know, Africa just isn't dark-skinned people with kinky hair. Africa is light-skinned people with like stringy hair. There's parts of Africa, Casablanca, you think you was in Puerto Rico if you're in the right village. You know,
Facts.
so we've been given this perspective that African is just people in the bush, and that's not always the case. So they're finding tombs over here in America. I don't know if y'all getting those narratives and those stories, but they're
Say
finding
that again. Say that again.
they're finding tombs, Egyptian style tombs, mummies over here.
Oh, what in? Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yes, they're
But yeah, no,
finding.
of course, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, you're right. Africans,
There's a book called The First Americans Were African. It's actually stating that 50,000 years ago that the whole continent from South America to Canada were all African.
I can believe that.
And then 30,000 years after the Ice Age, the Mongolians came over the ice cap through the north and integrated with the Africans were here. And that's how the American Indians came in. The whole,
Right.
there were black Indians and red Indians at one time. And to this day, there's still all black Indians in some populations of America.
Hassan, you listening to this, yeah? Now, what you listening to?
When you look at your
brother.
Nigerian brothers, and when you look at your brothers from Ghana, and you look at people from Brooklyn, and you look like, oh, they both brown, but they don't look alike, because we're probably from just two different parts of the earth. And, you know, and it's possible that we might have been there just
true that.
You know, so again, those who control our books control the way we think. So the way, when the brother, you asked me earlier, you know, what books have I been reading? I kind of see knowledge like a buffet, and I take my plate and I just walk around and I pick what feels good to my spirit. You have people who are so hungry for knowledge, you'll ingest an entire book, but you'll only keep a few chapters of wisdom. So it's like I'm just really selective about the stuff that I put on my plate, and I just know there's more, you know. So as far as the solution, money. It's money. Money is our vote. Money is our religion. Once we can start investing into each, like Christmas is coming around. I'm not sure about where you brothers are from. Yet people will be buying Christmas gifts just because it's one of the oldest marketing schemes ever. You know, so once we could start investing our dollar into our own, we're so interested in looking fly. If we could put that same effort into investing that dollar into ourselves as opposed to being appealing to others, not even wanting to fit in with others. That's the thing. Like we want to get into everyone's lane instead of making our own lane. But
absolutely
I'm learning my brothers in Nigeria, even up in Europe, you are doing your thing. So that's how
we get busy over here. But we've got black people with money. We there's loads of black people with money. I think it starts in a mindset. But it starts in the mind though, because you can give someone money, if they've got the wrong mindset, that money ain't going nowhere. I think it starts with the mind. Like Hassan, if your mind was fighting, if your mind was sort of not, if you knew that white supremacy was the greatest threat to the world, if you knew that, I think you would think differently about African Americans.
How is white supremacy a threat? Talk to me.
Say that again. Sorry, repeat yourself.
How is white supremacy a threat?
How does white supremacy train?
Yeah, how is white supremacy a threat? I mean, they're just human beings with organs and blood.
It's a religion, my friend. It's a religion. It's the biggest religion. White supremacy is a religion. How is it trained?
When you say white supremacy, you're talking of like a confraternity. Are you talking about like a gathering of people of different races?
I'm talking about an ideology.
An ideology, which people of different colors. people of different colors subscribe to.
I would say so. Yes, people of different colors subscribe to. Yeah, yeah.
About the states within the states.
I beg your pardon. Repeat yourself.
Are you talking about the deep states, the states within the states?
Hey, can I say something?
Okay.
There is no devil, only unaccountable people. So as you hear about all these other stories, you know, as the brother just mentioned, it's in our mind. Some of the stuff you can give your energy to, and some of the stuff you really don't need. You know, the people that's really making things difficult and horrible, they're going to make up stories like this where we can look other direction as opposed to where we should really be paying attention. So, you know, all that white supremacy stuff over there, like my brother, like if you're dealing with that in Nigeria, it's just something else you're going to be worried about. Another demon, another ghost, another someone else to point at instead of just looking forward. You know, like
So may I ask you a question? You're saying white supremacy is like spookism?
no, I mean it again, the demons that you believe, they are your truth. Your words make
Well,
so
let me ask you, is the colonizer just something that is perceived in a belief, or did it have,
oh,
is
no,
the colonizer real?
colonizers are real.
Okay, so we can't equate that to, your truth, and I agree with you on everything else, but the part about, with him, I'm not talking in defense of what he's saying, but we need to understand that the colonizer is real, and it is, and there is a type of people who have worked things that have gone on in history, like slavery. They've worked it in a very extremely inhumane way because innately, now I'm not saying every white person for the record, because I don't know which are of that type of people, but the group of people who ruled, who called themselves royalty, and who did all the conquests and did all the colonizing, those people are a type of people who have zero humanity. And so when the reason I speak on this is because we're talking about white, so-called white supremacy, and he tried to somehow equate me with the truth that we survived well, and we are people magnetized to us as a black people, descendants of the slave trade, which we, by all logic, should be the least desired people. Based on our history, we should be the least, but we're the most. So, he tried to say that is somehow white supremacy. White
Yeah,
supremacy. Yeah, go ahead.
I heard that. I heard that. I think it's again, it's a reflex. It's a reflex. Like I remember a girl dating from church. There were certain ways they would say certain things just to kind of trigger you. And I heard it. You know, we can't allow that shit to trigger us. You know, again, we do that. We know that there's bigger shit out there, and then they pawn us against ourselves. You know,
Right. I'm not exactly triggered
it's
by
a naive
that statement.
almost.
He
Right.
triggered, real quick, he triggered me, which I'm very happy to be triggered by this because it's about balance. Sometimes you
Indeed.
got to get triggered to know you're alive. He triggered me with the whole, hey, let's make fun of black people making up fairy tales about who they are and who they came from. And I was like, my radar, my sixth sense, all my senses came alive, and he's still my brother. Even I would say this to my blood brother. If my blood brother tried to make fun of something, my children, when my children don't know any better, when they were very young, like 3, 4, 4 or 5, and they saw their cousins making fun of mentally ill people or handicapped people, I snapped into shape, really castigated them with all types of information, not physical, but seriously reprimanded them. Like, don't you ever think you're going to do that. So what triggered me about him wasn't the fact about the white supremacy. That was just hilarious when he said, I am a white supremacist. But what triggered me is for him to get on and say, after I talked to him for 40 minutes prior, oh, hey, what's up with those Hebrew Israelites? And so I'm just making a point to say that's what triggered me. It wasn't the fact that he said white supremacy. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think we all got an understanding from that, and I appreciate you. Again, I appreciate you just for catching it. You know, I'm sure he appreciates just the conversation, and the waters are steady, Miss Nepal. You got it.
Right. And I don't
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
him sharing.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead,
caught that,
Justin.
Nepal. I didn't catch that. You caught that. You know, I thought you was kind of initially. I thought you was being a bit harsh on the brother, but then as you carried on talking, it came to surface that you were kind of on the money to where he was going. So
And let me
yeah,
say
respect
this
to that.
too, brother. Just Acting and Asan and Mr. T.Y., Mr. Thank you. This isn't to kill him and we're gonna drag this out. No, this is our brother. Even if it was an American, you know, or a Western, because you know, Western Hemisphere, they're in the Western Hemisphere, right? What am I talking about? So you get what I'm saying. But like, if it was like an ADOS situation, I wouldn't. And then a brother said something seriously offensive, I would do the same thing. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I got heated and upset, but look, if I didn't give a damn about the brother, I would have just blocked him and kicked him off the stream and then moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hassan, do you see the points
yeah,
now that's been
I
said?
don't hate him. He's our brother, but I do see he. And by the way, for the record, I have about 30 Nigerian friends who know what's up. I don't know what part of Nigeria he's from. My friends are from Lagos. I don't know where you're from, but they don't think like you, and I don't even. So therefore, I won't say most Nigerians think like this. I don't see that, but I do see online a lot of my brothers and sisters who are over in Africa. You know, they have expressed this, but me personally, my friends, and let me tell you, the friends I have, like my friend, one of my best friends is the son of Kofi Annan, Kojo Annan. He's a friend of mine. He's Nigerian and Ghanaian. He would never say that the African slave trade did not exist. He's like, I know that's my brother. Like I know he's my people. So it makes me wonder what kind of social class he's from. Like, I'm not going to ask the brother what his social status is or social class, but I see that more Africans who are more educated, more formally educated, I mean, with they're from more affluent families, they are on point. They know all about what's happened to us. And I'm not dissing the brother. Maybe he could share, but that's just what I've seen. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
What are you
thank
saying,
you for
Hassan?
allowing me to enjoy your stream tonight, Mr. Paul. I'm about to jump off and get a little bit of work in before I squeeze in my power nap.
I know, brother. Good. Thank you so much for joining. I loved your story. You know, remember what was said to you, and even Hassan. I mean, I kind of did. I know I did some digs. Hey, y'all, I'm not perfect, but the brother saying what happened with the snake, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Be careful. But anyway, brother, peace to you, Mr. Thank you. Is that your name?
No, Tyrone's my first name. Zaya is my middle name. So
Oh, right, Mr.
before
Zaire.
Zaya, so Ty is just Ty, T-Y.
Ty.
That's
Okay,
the name.
well, thank you for jumping.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right,
Thank you.
brother.
Peace to the brothers,
Yeah,
y'all.
thank you.
Peace, bro.
Peace and black power. And you know what? I'll let the brothers dialogue more. We have Unru. Unru has joined. Yes, y'all let you weigh in. I'm going to mute out. I'm just going to mute out. I just wanted to add my 2 cents on what he said about white supremacy, though. Peace, Unru. How are you?
Peace. Thanks for having me on your show, Nepal. Appreciate it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, man? I've been reading the chat, and like, yeah. Your comments seem on the money about white supremacy, but you're talking about land. You're saying that you need land.
Yeah, the brother that just left, he was talking about we need money. I think because I was having a dialogue with other brothers before about that, and that was the brother was stressing education more than anything. But in my opinion, I think land has to be the #1 priority for us, because you can't build without land. And even when we was under segregation, we was able to build because we had our own towns. We had our
Black
own.
Wall Street.
Right. Now it was and that Black Wall Street was just one of them. It was many towns we had like that were thriving, successful towns. And once they pulled the integration con on us, is when they was able to just take everything we had, our schools, our businesses, our shopping centers, our hospitals, because under segregation, we had all that. So in order to build, we need that land back first. And this is why
Yeah,
what's that?
sorry to interrupt you there, brother. But say you've got land, yeah. You got land. Say you got land, and you've got a whole bunch of brothers like Hassan on that land. What do you think is going to happen? Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, Hassan, talk to us. Like, do you think land will solve the black issue? Do you even think there's a black issue?
Well, what like I'm saying, I was saying earlier on, I was saying like what caused the black man to have issue? What caused the black issue? So provided we're not talking about what caused the issue. You see, we don't want to realize that we were at fault. That was why we had issue. Because even when you read in the science of energetics, your energy has to go down before someone can trample on you. You see, so for some reason, I feel like we are guilty for what we are going through on Earth today. You see, so let's make peace with that, and then we can now see what's the next step, because land, money, all those things will come later. Like you already talked about settling the mindset. You see, when we're talking mindset, I feel like we're talking spirituality. I feel like we're talking about like really
I mean, that's where I
understanding.
think it's at. I definitely think it starts with the mind first, because you can
Yeah,
give
my
someone
professor.
money.
Mm,
You,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, I was saying you can give someone money, you can give someone land, and if the mindset isn't right, that money and that land is not going to. It's going to be even worse giving that to them. So I definitely think it
To
starts upstairs first
yeah,
with the
yeah.
mindset before land or money gets involved in
But
anything.
this is the
Because
thing.
someone with the wrong mindset.
How
We
can
had
we
that
how can we
we
engineer the
had
mind?
the land before and we built. It wasn't like we didn't have it. We had the land. We
Yeah,
had the
but
opportunity.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. That makes total sense. And so what you're saying is right, because if we have the land, we are creative people, we are genius people, we would do something with that land. I get what you're saying, but unfortunately, those days are gone where we can just have land and do whatever the hell we want on that land. We were conquered, and now we're in a system of white supremacy. So we have to
Right.
think on
But
those
our but
terms.
our but our thing over here is this was the whole movement about, because reparations is not just money. Reparations is uh it's a bunch of things. It's land, it's money, it's tax exemption, it's healthcare. It's not just money.
how
Just
can
like
you be
the
how can you be asking
go,
for reparations from someone that enslaved you? Is that real?
what's that?
Like how can you be asking for reparations from someone that enslaved you? Is it ever gonna happen? And if you really want to take your freedom, I think you're gonna take it back yourself. Nobody's gonna give it to you.
They gave
I think that's a
it's
wide. We're going off the topic now. I think
but if
Okay,
he
okay.
was to
that's a
say that,
whole other
it's
topic.
not it's I understand why he's saying that. It's not off the
Question.
topic actually, but it's the same as they gave to the Native Americans. It's the same as they gave to the Jews. It's the same as they gave to the Japanese. It's the Native
So,
Americans here now. What they call, they have their own land,
but
have
that's
their
that.
own self. That's different, you saying?
So that's where we get. That's where I have a problem with. What I have a problem is once somebody's giving you, once you're in the position of them giving you. So what you're trying to say is you need a soft landing to grow yourself back to power. Is that what you're saying?
I can't hear you. Say that one more time.
No, he's basically trying to say what's the point? No. They are old, mate. Reparations is old. It's not a thing that they should be even asking for. It's old. It's old. Everybody else gets their cut. Foundational Black Americans have gone through the worst of it for the longest time. They are, it's not even a question. To even question it is ridiculous because yes, I hear what you're saying. You're like, well, they enslaved you. Why would they give you money? But they bombed Japan and they gave Japan money. So that point doesn't really stand. Reparations is old. You might think they're never going to get it, but it's something that should always be asked for because it's something that is old. So it's not even a question whether they should get it or not. What I'm saying is, yes, reparations is that's not even the question. You should get reparations, but it starts with the mindset. I believe it starts upstairs. No.
Yeah, my professor used to say that. So the question now would be how are we going to, how we're going to re-engineer? Because don't forget, according to the narrative, you are conquered first with swords, and then your mindset is changed later after the conquer by grooming the children up to become whatever Christians, Muslims, believers in Elegba, believers in societies that don't really exist. You see, like I don't want to make more comments, but really, you see, how
No,
we
I
going?
hear you. Uru, what, you see, what land would you take? Like, where would the land be? Because I know there's, w- just like the
Well,
sort of the Native Americans got land. Would you suggest
actually,
Americans, Black
I, would,
Americans?
I wouldn't say land. You see, I would say, you see, who were we before we were conquered? What happened? How can we get back into that power, that spiritual power that can help us control ourselves? You see, let's get back to unity. You see, if that ever existed, then we can now say, okay, this is where we're going to. Let's settle the mindset first. The money, land, all those things are peripheral. The
You
main thing
see,
is
what you're saying. You're saying the mindset. Let's get together first. I don't think that people need to get together. That's it. And when you say mindset, maybe we have two different things in mind. My mindset, when I say mindset, I mean the mindset of Black people understanding that they're in a system of white supremacy. That's what I mean. That's the mindset I'm talking about. What you're talking about, the mindset that we should get together, I don't necessarily think that
okay.
needs,
But,
that
but
needs to happen.
other than that, what are we really asking for? What's the problem? What are we asking for?
What do you mean? Sorry, what do you mean?
What are we asking for? What is the problem? What is it now that the black people don't have that they need, and what's stopping them from getting it?
I mean, the answer to that is white
Shalom,
supremacy.
y'all.
I mean,
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, brother. That's a real deep question to ask, or not to ask, but to explain in a short period of time that we probably have on this panel. But
So, so
I don't
okay, let me.
understand. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm listening. No, talk. You want to say something, brother?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, because I would say that number one, Africa, Africa is it's a place where we have predominantly black people. So per observation, it seems like this is the land where Africans are like were created to be in, even though they're dispersed around the diaspora. You see, so really I don't have the answers. I'm just giving hypothetical theories. So I will not come and sit and act like I have got all the answers. But what I would say is how can we get into that mindset of reality? How can we get into understanding that life is spirit and matter and there's a science to everything? You get quit the spooky stuff. Quit. How can we become a real people? You see, because I feel like right now as a Nigeria, Most people are not thinking that they can build electricity for themselves. Most people are not thinking that they can build cars for themselves. What they're doing is saying that there's bad government.
But here's the thing. I think a lot of people need to understand. Before you even understand or start getting into spiritual, you got to understand the physical. You got to understand how the real world works. If you trying to explain to me about, if you telling me about spirituality in the spiritual world, but you don't even understand the natural world, how am I to believe? How am I supposed to believe you know what you're talking about the spiritual world? Because here you are now in Africa, and you saying it ain't no such thing as white supremacy, or you saying that it is our own fault, or that it's nobody holding us back, it's our own fault. But then you want to talk about the spiritual world, but you don't even understand the makings of the world you can see with your own eyes. That don't even
Wait,
make sense to
Facts.
me.
I'm not even talking about the spiritual world. What I'm saying
So
is we need to
how can we come together spiritually if we can't even come together physically in the real world? If you don't
but
even see the world for what it is,
what if
how are
the
you supposed to
spiritual
understand the world you can't see?
That's facts.
but since you don't know, what if the spiritual getting together is what's supposed to happen first before the physical? What if that's
Brother,
how it works? Because
So,
son,
can I ask a
you
question to the brother, my African brother? Can I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
So when the Bible, do you read the Bible? That's first. Do you read the Bible?
I'm not a Christian, but I know some things in the
And
Bible.
I'm not asking you what's your political stance. I'm asking you,
No,
do you read the Bible?
not really, but I have a Bible. I know some things in
So
it.
there's a passage in the Bible that says we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities.
Yeah,
Right?
I know about that. I know about
Right.
that.
So the first thing is to understand the physical thing that you're wrestling with. You know what I'm saying? And then understand the principalities that's over this physical thing. Like, for instance, let me give you two words. You got righteousness, you got wicked. So in the physical world, you got people that want to do right by you, and then you got people that want to fuck over you. So you have to recognize that first. Then you can start to connect to. You ever heard of this term? America got a term, a phrase that we go by says "birds of a feather." You know,
Flock together.
you know about that, right? So that means the energy you attract, you attract with who you are. So the Bible also says, "So as a man thinketh, so is he." So that reality, that physical world you're creating for yourself in your mind first. You know what I'm saying? Then you bring it to. So all this stuff you have to understand that first. Like when y'all was talking about the slave trade and stuff like that, and the stuff that the number that it did on the people over there. I know you in West Africa, we in America, whatever, and it did a different number on you than it did on us. How long y'all been free over there?
Well, the claim will be free since 1960. So that's 50 years now. 50,
Yeah.
70
So
years.
that's the same book. Now think about
Uh,
how long has South Africa been free?
South Africa, 60, 50, South Africa.
Yeah, since
South
like 90 something, not even that
Africa,
long ago.
yeah, Nigeria was free before. But I say that's so-called claim because how can you be free when you can't build for self?
Okay. So this the thing. What I mean by so watch this. What's your name, bro? DJ Black Sean. What's your name?
My name is Namdi, meaning my father is alive.
So check this out, Nandi. So you saying you could do for yourself? We all understand that, right? We all understand that we can do for ourselves. We can meet us a woman, get married, have children, buy us some land, and build our kingdom from that position. We all understand that little matter. You know what I'm saying? That shit, you can do that before slavery, if you will, and you can do it now. You know, the thing is, what I mean by freedom is you don't know what total freedom is as far as being able to when you go to the grocery store and get your food. And some folk grow their food, but that still ain't freedom because you can't grow your food everywhere, and then your money don't buy you all the food up out the grocery store. I mean, you just can't go to the grocery store and get food for free. Is what I'm trying to say. So right there is not, you know what I'm saying? We don't understand. It's a whole lot of stuff about freedom that we don't understand because in our lifetime we never experienced it. We experienced what in like you over there, and I'm pretty sure you got a black government like we got a white government, but they still hand feed you about stuff that you could do.
You can. If you telling me right now, I could go to West Africa. I can come to your neighborhood where you at and set up shop, but I ain't got to go by the laws of your land.
That's not possible, brother.
All
You
right,
have to
then.
go.
So first we got to understand, like the man was saying, we got to understand the physical. What we doing over here. So when I get over there, you know what I'm saying, I got to know the type of people that I'm dealing with. And you got to be able to recognize them too. If you're going to be my liaison, if you're going to be my bridge, you got to be able to say, there's some good people and there's some fucked up people. You know what I'm saying? You got to be that bridge. But we dealing with the physical now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't dealing with the spiritual part when you start to sit down and break bread with them and, you know, crack jokes and, you know what I'm saying? All that, and compare families and stuff. Then you start to get a little, but first we got to do this physical thing.
I'm
You don't
listening.
understand? Do you feel that though?
Well, exactly what I was trying to say. You need to become a realer people. You need to become like less spooky. But like I said, I don't know all the answers.
So
Because
when you say spooky, meaning like when somebody say this is a wicked person, you saying I'm finna try him anyway. I'm finna go see how wicked he is. Like you ain't scared, you ain't afraid to eat. You want to see what the smoke feel like.
exactly. I won't just sit down and say, the Most High said that. The Most High said that. The Most High said that. You see,
Right.
I'm done with the Most High saying things. I want to see you doing it. You see?
Hey man, you all right now. You try to. There's some folk out here that's super wicked, and you can try to step on their toes with your intelligence, and they will show you just how fucked up they is.
I still don't understand what Lordy's trying to say. I'm still confused about his entire point.
He like this right here. We could, when you talk about righteous people or whatever and wicked people and stuff like that, that's kind of spooky. It kind of like make you not approach them because you own it. You like this a good righteous person, man. I can't take my game to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to bring them into this world. They really might want to be in that world, but because you in a certain mindset, you don't approach them with your ideas because you thinking that they are because they're a Christian preacher that they don't want to invest into this nightclub with you. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So you really can grow, but you have to get rid of that part of it, that little how we say in the Bible, the judgment. You know what I'm saying? We have to get rid of that judgment. And the Bible says judge not lest you be judged. And I can say that's part of our problem with our economic gap. You know what I'm saying? Because we and I think we learned that from our upbringing, Nandi. I think all of us learned that shit from our elementary school, the churches we went to, and our peers. You know what I'm saying? To approach situations like that, because hell, nigga, we was enslaved.
Okay. So as I'm asking you now, because remember, according to history, this new world that we're living in right now was actually negotiated into being. It was called the councils. Different councils came together, like we are doing now, and they discussed, and they were like, "This is what we want to be." You see, so I really think that that's what is going to like repeat itself in history. We got to come together and rewrite the new way. It's not by saying that was the history or saying it's the Hebrew Israelite that will save us. All those are in history. It was our fellow men that documented Christianity. It was our fellow men that documented Islam. So who says now that we can do that for ourselves right now? It was our fellow men that documented the laws in government. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. You get, even if it won't happen in the Americas, I think something can happen. And as I say, it has a lot to do with spirituality.
With all the stuff that the world, I ain't gonna say America, that the world, even in Africa, all the riches and trinkets that the world give us, you think somebody finna actually sit down and take their time and write a new Bible, write a new Quran?
It mustn't be a Bible or a Quran. It's just a new way.
And that's what I'm saying. You think somebody finna actually sit down and take the time and write the new way?
Isn't that what we're doing right now? Asking questions about the old way because we want a new way.
It is, but you, like my man was saying, you got to understand it's physical. See, we could talk about having a new way and all that stuff, and then it'll become romanticized. when we understand the physical, the real stuff that's going on, then we'll understand how to obtain it, and you know what I'm saying, and get with it.
But
We'll
yeah,
understand how to get it.
right, because
Okay.
my entire point is Lundy keeps talking about the Most High. Lundy keeps talking about the spirituality stuff, but he don't even understand the world he can see with his own eyes. He doesn't
But
understand white supremacy. He doesn't even know the history. He doesn't even understand history. He don't know history. He's saying he doesn't even know, but he's
yeah,
talking
but
about
what if I don't need to understand all those?
what's
What
that?
if I don't? Because
What if you don't need to?
you come together, build the people, you get, but that new land they're going to could always still come and be colonized. It could always still come and be conquered. So you see, I'm saying what I'm not saying that I have all the answers. Because we're talking about protection. You see, I feel like it has to do with some spiritual backing. You get something that you say, the old people, like the old pharaohs that went to attack the Israelites, you see, they don't want to let you go. So you have to have something more powerful than they do in order to actually be God.
Man, what more powerful than God?
Yeah, hi everyone. Peace, brothers.
Hey,
Peace, Black Charm.
what's
I
going
just wanted to let you brothers know I'm so thankful to Just Acting and the brother Ty, Unru, the brother even Hassan, and of course you, DJ Black Charm, and everyone else who's tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to actually start to wind the stream down. So if there's some place that you want to shout out, like where you want people to find you, your social media or something, shout it out if you want to. If not, it's all good. But I'm just gonna let you go around and say your farewells so I can shut this down. Not to come in so abruptly, but it's getting a little bit early in the morning for me. So I
All right,
love the
cool.
conversation though. I love the
No
conversation,
worries.
brothers. Okay, so go ahead, brothers.
Thank you,
Um,
Nepah. I've appreciated your platform. Thanks for having me on.
I
My point
appreciate
was
you too,
just
brother. I
no worries.
appreciate
My
you.
point was just white supremacy is that's the main thing that we need to be worried about as black people. That's my thing. Everybody's got their own thing. I was just saying that needs to be the forefront of everybody's mind, that white supremacy is the main issue and the main problem affecting black people. That was it. All right, peace out to all the brothers, man.
peace, brother.
Okay, brother, peace. Even though I am not a brother, I know what you meant. You said
Peace,
peace, all
Nepal.
brother. I'm just kidding. Bye, Just Acting. Peace, and
All right.
thank you so much for joining into the conversation. That was a good combo. Asan, you want to say goodbye or no?
So I didn't hear you.
Yeah, brother. You want to just say your farewells and close out? I'm gonna close the stream.
All right. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time. Hopefully.
Okay, brother. Peace.
on?
Peace, bro.
Peace.
Um, Nepal, just wanted to say thank you for having me on your show. I enjoyed the chat. Thanks for letting me come on and give my little bit of knowledge and insight on the conversation. I enjoy your
Yeah.
platform. Um, thank you, because it is crazy over here on the East Coast too. It's actually just turned 5 a.m. So
Oh, the sun's gonna be coming up soon.
yeah, I know.
I gotta go do my get my cauldron and all my frog, the eye of newt. I gotta get everything ready for my. I'm just kidding. Because
Well, you
it's
do
3
that.
a.m. I'm joking, but yeah, I'm glad you jumped on Unru. I'm glad
Thanks
to
for
actually
having me.
talk.
Thanks for giving me a chance to give my little piece.
Always.
Thank you, Queen. And for the brothers, y'all have a good night. And I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, brother. Peace. Sleep well.
Peace. Thank you.
And DJ, peace, brother. DJ.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm glad I woke up and I was YouTube surfing because I have yet to catch you live, and I finally caught one of you live, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed their conversation. I enjoyed how intelligent it was, not so much hooping and hollering over each other and stuff like. I really enjoyed it. And then you know, just the end part of the conversation about spiritual and physical and white supremacy and Africans not really, West Africans for that matter, not really understanding what white supremacy is. I think that was so big. And also the conversation needs to be revisited too. But I really appreciate you for allowing me on. And I will.
You know, I appreciate you, brother.
I got to figure out how you don't get the notification. Do you go on at this time all the time, or is it different time?
Go in and do it again, because the sister just said, KK just said she didn't get a notification either. So peace to you, sis. Peace to the whole family. I am so exhausted. I can't even go back. But I do want to say thank you to anyone who super chatted me. If I missed you, I am so sorry. I love you and I appreciate you super chatting. Robert Benjamin, that goes for you, and all the others, of course, that I shouted out. And that if I missed you, sorry.
Yeah, so
but
DJ Black music.
I was about to say, DJ, give your social media.
Yeah, DJ is DJ Black Charm Music, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, Twitter, all across social media is the same thing. DJ Black Charm Music.
Awesome. Thank you, Rejay.
Thank you.
Reja. Wait, Rita, no, Black Charm. I need to come. I'm coming to Atlanta, and I'm gonna go in the studio with you.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pop up.
All right, so you gotta keep up, bring your vocal trainer with you now, cause I go hard in the studio now. We're gonna be in
No, that's how I am. I'm very disciplined. I used to really actually be a real recording artist.
Okay.
But background, I was a background singer, but still, you know, like
you ready?
I actually sang background for Whitney Houston on one of her albums.
So you ready to go lead?
Yeah, I'm ready to take I'm ready to do like Mariah. Remember, she used to be a background singer.
Yeah.
But anyway, much love, DJ. Keep in touch with me. Get my email address.
What is it?
It's on my. Well, let me put it in the chat, okay? Thank you, Reja, for the PayPal. I just love y'all. If you PayPal me, super chat, Cash App, you know, I appreciate you so much. And even if you don't, I appreciate you coming in, subscribing, and don't forget to tell people to come by and subscribe so they can be a part of the whole vibe. Anyway, here is my email address, Telebet Israel. It's on my main page too, at gmail.com. So get my and I see you. I also see you in I'm actually boiling some peppers right now, so it's making me kind of congested. Sorry, but I see you in I should do a music stream, KK, sweetheart. I should. I will one day. What was I gonna say? I see you in Hangouts, DJ.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to say. I see you in Hangouts. You know Hangouts?
Yeah. The little back stuff, the little Google Hangout stuff.
Google Hangouts, yeah. But anyway, there's my email address, brother. I want to talk to you about music. Much love to you. Peace and Black Power. You know, y'all know where to find DJ Black Charm is one of the he's one of the best producers. And what else do you do, brother? You don't just produce.
I engineer, and I mix and master. So
and you are in Atlanta.
And I'm in Atlanta. So a lot of people they record themselves because of how technology is now, but they need people to mix and master their stuff. And so reach out to me, DJ Black Charm Music, and I can help you out with the mixing and mastering of your recording.
Awesome. And shout out to Sonnetter, HOK, the Black people out there that love us. We love you back.
I want love the pot.
Yeah. All right, brother. Peace. So family, thank you so much for staying with me and listening. And yes, it got a little hot. I'm over here I was doing my yes, brother, what I see in your dreams. And then suddenly it was like, Negro, did you say slavery never existed? No. Slavery never happened. But anyway, I love the brother. I have love for the brother. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep. Much love to everybody, everything. Namaste. And sleep well if you're sleeping. If you have to get up and work, you know, think deeply. Peace to the darkest minds of the light. Peace, Hassan Wise. Peace, my brother. Peace, peace, peace. Yeah, I'm making up some brew right now. Some peppers and some sana colita de rana. I'm just kidding. I love this. Napah's a witch. Oh, eye of newt, hair of dog. No, anyway, I'm not. But much love to you. KK, sis, go in. Bye, sweetheart. But go in. You know how you do unsubscribe and then subscribe right after, and then hit the notification bell. And that should work to where you will get notifications. All right. All right. I love you guys. Much love. Shalom.